Most patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Listen to me. Television is not the truth. Television is a damn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We're in the boredom-killing business. So if you want the truth, go to God. Go to your gurus. Go to yourselves. Because that's the only place you're ever going to find any real truth.
The airing of grievances. Grievances. A lot of problems with you people. Yes. You're going to hear about it.
Yeah. You know what time it is. It's Reese on the Radio, folks. On this September the 13th, 2024, television is an amusement park. Bunch of liars. Welcome to the show, and of course, it is the airing of grievances Friday on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC 860-522 WTIC 860-522-9842. Today's opening monologue. Oh, how do I say it? There's only one way for me to say it. Let me find it. There it is right there. See, I told you so. I told you so. You need to listen to Reese on the Radio. I don't mean to. Again, I'm trying hard not to break my arm, pat myself on the back, folks, but I told you so. What am I talking about? You can't remember everything that I say. That's why I documented for you. Listen closely. The objective for ABC News is to make sure that Kamala Harris is saved. To them, they believe CNN was complicit in destroying the candidacy of Joe Biden. Again, the objective for ABC News is to make sure that Kamala Harris is saved. To them, they believe CNN was complicit in destroying the candidacy of Joe Biden. One more time. The objective for ABC News is to make sure that Kamala Harris is saved. To them, they believe CNN was complicit in destroying the candidacy of Joe Biden. Enter the LA Times. In an article they wrote about one of the moderators, Lindsay Davis. Have you read it? You should. In a recent fluff piece on ABC's Lindsay Davis in the LA Times, not only proves what I said to be a fact, but they're bragging about it. Talking about their behind-the-scenes plan to ensure that Trump was not able to end Kamala Harris's campaign the same way that he did Joe Biden's in the CNN debate in June. Yeah, they bragged about it. That's what they did in public. Here's the LA Times headline. Lindsay Davis held Trump's feet to the fire, how she became ABC News' rising star. That's what it was about. That was the purpose of ABC News. People were going, well, they were I can't believe how biased they were. It was always the plan. Here's the quote. Davis, wearing pink glasses while speaking to the LA Times over breakfast at the Ritz-Carlton in Philadelphia, said the decision to attempt to correct the candidates was in response to the June 27 CNN debate between Trump and President Biden, whose poor performance led to his exit from the race. Quote, people were concerned that some statements were allowed to just hang and not be disputed by the candidate, Biden, at the time, or the moderators, Davis said. Again, the objective for ABC News is to make sure that Kamala Harris is saved. To them, they believe CNN was complicit in destroying the candidacy of Joe Biden. So, I know people wanted it to be something that it wasn't, but it is what it is, and it was what it was. And these things are easy to tell. They don't have to. Look, again, it's ABC News. They don't care about what's done in the cable news sphere. I mean, if they did, seriously, do you really think that they would put David Muir or Lindsay Davis? Talk about conflict of interest. She's a sorority sister with Kamala Harris. Prominently, they displayed that or that information during the inauguration in 2021. They knew that. So there was nothing to be surprised about at all. But again, Kamala, not that any of this worked. By the way, truth be told, why is it that Kamala Harris is asking for a second debate? Even with the cheating, even with the obvious bias moderators, why is she asking for another one? We're talking about someone who never wants to be challenged. Why does she want another debate? Anyone can figure it out? I don't know why no one can figure it out. I don't hear anybody saying why. Laura Ingraham has an idea. I love her answer.
If she's asking for another debate, though, they don't think she won this debate, hands down. They would be, to Dana's point, saying,
we're done.
Mic drop, we're done.
Yep.
They don't think that she's in a position right now to win this race.
And I watched Jesse Waters' show last night, and his little producer, Johnny, that he sent out on the street. If you watched last night, I don't know if you could watch last night, if you could go back, if you DVR'd it or you have something like Sling or one of these platforms where you can go back and watch like yesterday's episode, or even if you're on Fox News, you want to watch that bit, if it's there, go watch Johnny out there talking to people on the streets. In particular, young people of color, talking about Kamala Harris in that debate. She moved nothing. Nothing. Everything is like every attempt they are making to make Kamala Harris seem like a viable candidate is falling flat on its face. Crap, we wouldn't have to do the stuff we wouldn't even have to see the stuff that we're seeing. Now, I know that there are some published reports out there. I shouldn't even say published reports. There are some reports that are out there that, according to those people, a whistleblower is about to come forward and suggest that Kamala Harris was given the questions ahead of time. No one's surprised by this, by the way, a la Donna Brazile and Hillary Clinton. No one's surprised by this. But if indeed these rumors are true, and this person does come forward, it's over. Do you understand that? It's over. There's no spin. This would be nothing more than at least for the campaign and everyone else associated with it, and I mean that in the press as well, they would have to concede that Kamala Harris is such a horrible candidate the news media has to carry her over the finish line. That she is a horrible candidate, that she is the candidate that she was less than 50 days ago, maybe 60 days ago, that she is that candidate, that she truly is the person that everyone did want off the Biden ticket. She is indeed the person that should have been primaried. She is indeed the person that was holding the Biden administration down. Everyone would have to admit that. ABC, I mean, what will happen to ABC News? They'll fall to second place in the ratings. Lester Holt will be back at number one again, but they won't suffer. Trust me, CBS will never be a number one news network. Just won't. It just won't. The Tiffany network is garbage. Thank you, Dan Rather. And let me applaud him. Thank you, Dan Rather. Thank you, Dan Rather. We appreciate you for sinking that ship. Les Moonves, too. Well, I can't forget Les. Les, can't forget you. Thank you for sinking that ship. Walter Cronkite is rolling over in his grave. But you can damn well bet nothing's going to happen in network news. David Muir will not be fired. Lindsey Davis will still become a star, as the LA Times puts it. But Kamala Harris's campaign is ipso facto donezo, if indeed this story comes out. It's already enough that this report comes out and Lindsey Davis admits that they stacked the deck. That's enough because everyone knows. And people can talk that nonsense. Here's another part. Try this on for size. This is the part that makes me laugh. With this article, with this paragraph, if you're just joining us, let me read to you the paragraph again. Lindsey Davis, wearing pink glasses while speaking to the LA Times over breakfast at the Ritz-Carlton in Philadelphia, said the decision to attempt to correct the candidates was in response to a June 27 CNN debate between Trump and President Biden, whose poor performance led to his exit from the race. So again, remember, Biden's poor performance is not because of the moderators, Jake Tapper and Dana Bash. It was because Joe Biden was horrible in the debate. So Lindsey Davis makes it clear that what they did was to salvage the campaign of Kamala Harris. Quote, Lindsey Davis here, people were concerned that statements were allowed to just hang and not be disputed by the candidate Biden at the time, or the moderators, Davis said. So they're admitting it. Then let's go further down. The critiques of her and Muir's approach predictably fell on partisan lines. Harris's supporters cheered it, while Trump's accolades on Fox News and other conservative outlets said the duo was piling on the former president and letting his Democrat opponent off easy. LA Times, is this objective journalism to suggest that it wasn't just conservative outlets? Many people on both sides openly admitted that Donald Trump was the only person fact-checked. What happened to the good people, fine people on both sides myth? No correction. What about the babies not be? I thought babies were not allowed to be aborted in the 8th or 9th month. We know that's false. In fact, ABC News is being called to correct the record right now. They're being demanded to correct the record because there's evidence of it. Even Kamala Harris's vice presidential candidate, Tim Walz, signed a bill that allowed babies, I think it was 8 babies in total who were born alive and allowed to die? Please. So they openly admit it. That's all. Jennifer says, I hate them all. I'm sorry. There's nothing to hate. We have to accept them for who they are. It's just who they are. Kamala Harris, if you want to, if I'm Donald Trump and I want to nip this stupid conversation that the news media is having about a third debate, or a second debate with them, or a third debate overall, but a second debate, if I'm Donald Trump, hit her where it hurts. Just go, Absolutely. We should have a second debate, Kamala. You know what? I'm going to call Tucker Carlson. We'll see if we can have it on his show. No audience, muted mics. Your call. Watch her run for the hills. That's exactly what will happen. She'll run, and she will run really far. To the phones we go. White Mike's in Florida. How we doing, sir?
Hey, man. Hey, buddy. Look, people should not be surprised that the media, the American media, is in the tank for one side.
Right.
Because they have been forever.
Right.
This is what you get when you have an industry that is no longer filled with hard scrabble working class people who became journalists because they wanted to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And replace them with college educated elitists who want to push their own agenda.
Yeah.
There are no crusaders for the truth in the media. There are only bootlick lackeys.
But you know, I've listened to I've read some of the backgrounds on a lot of these people, right? Every time I checked out, what was her name? Lauren Phillips from CNN, right? I was like, why does she doesn't seem like a journalist. But then I look her up and she's got no journalism degree. I look up Dana Bash, no journalism degree. Jake Tapper, no journalism degree. Wait a minute, George Stephanopoulos, no journalism degree. None of these people. Used to be Meet the Press. What's his name? Chuck Todd. Used to work for used to work in Congress. I think if I remember, he worked for Tip O'Neill.
Well, buddy, they all make exorbitant salaries.
Considerable, right?
They're wealthy, even by New York City standards.
Oh, yeah.
Where they all live. They're fabulously wealthy. They've gained this wealth by being useful apparatchiks to the regime. So they're going to do whatever they can. And let's not forget that they're all still butthurt that Donald Trump ruined their plans by getting elected in 2016.
Yeah.
2016 was supposed to be Hillary's first term. She was supposed to get the 3 Supreme Court seats that Trump got.
That's right.
I mean, they whacked Scalia so that Hillary could get one. They knew RBG was going to retire in a Hillary term.
Yeah.
And who was the other? Souter? Was it Kennedy?
Kennedy
they figured he was going to retire. So Trump got 3. And he has effectively put the brakes on a lot of their agenda, given a Republican president and a Republican Congress for the next 20 years.
Yep.
If he gets one term, I guarantee you're going to have 2 more retirements.
Well, yeah, and it's funny because I almost feel, because I remember you and I were discussing this, and you were talking about how, I think the 2 you mentioned was Sotomayor and Thomas, right? You were talking about those 2 were more than likely to retire.
Thomas, I think, will retire for age. I think there's another one. Is it Kennedy?
No, the next one would be Alito.
Alito's dead.
No, I'm sorry. Not Alito. I'm sorry.
It's Alito.
Yeah, Alito. Sam Alito. Yeah. What am I thinking? Yeah. With the Sam Alito, Sotomayor. It's got to be Sam Alito, Sotomayor, and Thomas.
Well, I think Sotomayor, I worry, is going to die because she's a diabetic and she's fat.
Right.
But I think Thomas will retire for
age,
the sake of the country.
Yeah.
And he knows getting another conservative will be another 20 or 30 years.
Right.
And Alito getting old too. He's like 77.
Right.
So if Trump gets in now, he gets 2, and if Sotomayor loses her feet, that's 3. He's locked it in for the next 20 or 30 years.
Yeah.
They cannot have. So they're going to do everything they can to stop him.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was trying to explain to my wife that yesterday during our walk. I said to her, at this point, you got a guy who's sort of been behind the curtain on how Washington works, and to give him a second crack at it, where he, the first term he was planning on draining the swamp, couldn't get it done. This time around, he understands who the players are and in essence, who the faithful are. This time around, you can forget about it. Washington is worried about its own purse strings, and all the pockets that have been lined.
Their big fear is that a lot of Second Amendment things have been happening in this Congress. I think that we're going to see a lot of stuff overturned, which terrifies them. And they're really afraid that if he gets in and he enacts mass deportations like Eisenhower,
that
it's going to work. That's what scares them. It's going to work, and the gun control thing will backfire, and they'll find out the gun control doesn't work, and they'll find out the deportations works, and it deflates all of their argument to only emotion.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it'll be. It'll be an emotion campaign talking about how everybody's feelings are hurt. I got to take a break. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate the call as always, sir. All right, we'll be back. More news, more views when we return. And don't forget, coming up, the stupidest thing I read today. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Looking for the best ways to prepare for retirement? Then be sure to tune in to Johnson Brunetti's Money Wisdom with Eric Hogarth tomorrow morning at 8:30 right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
There's a lot that goes into setting up a comprehensive estate plan. Visit preserveyourestate.net for your complimentary worksheet and find out about Nierenstein, Horowitz & Associates free seminars. That's preserveyorestate.net. Don't let your family lose out by not preparing in advance.
Weather can be unpredictable nowadays, but your local news station on the free Odyssey app has got you covered. Whether you need an umbrella, windbreaker, or an extra layer, or two, we'll let you know. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station to listen on your smartphone or ask your smart speaker to play it before you head out the door. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station. That's AUDACY.
Men, low testosterone causes a host of problems. These include a low sex drive, bad sleep patterns, unproductive workouts, decreased energy, brain fog, and more. But many men just attribute these symptoms to aging and don't consider that there are medical treatments that can give them back their vigor and vibrancy. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if you're feeling like I just described, it's time for you to treat that low T and change your life. At Northeast Men's Health, we're experts in treating low testosterone and other men's sexual health conditions. We've successfully treated thousands of men for low T and have seen the amazing difference that those treatments can make in a man's life. If you're feeling like the vast majority of men who are low T, within just a few weeks, you'll feel your energy return. That brain fog will go away. Your sleep will improve, as will your workouts, and your sex drive will be significantly enhanced as well. So make an appointment and make a true life change. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices across the Northeast to serve you.
And now, a WTIC news update.
83 degrees at 3:30. I'm John Silva. In Meriden, state police are charging a man they say attacked a woman this week at the city's train station. Under arrest is 37-year-old Curtis Hemingway. Victim said Hemingway walked up from behind her Wednesday night, grabbed her, and choked her to unconsciousness. When she came to, the victim said she was assisted by an individual who drove her home. She then contacted police, who later spotted Hemingway and placed him under arrest. He faces attempted murder and other charges. Workers at the Omni Hotel in New Haven hit the picket line today. The union, representing the 125 or so workers, says it's still in talks with the hotel, but are still far apart on an agreement. Union Local 217 of Unite Here says their workers are facing food, rent, and other increases, but wages have stayed stagnant. For the second time, a Naugatuck man is facing additional charges after he was originally accused of an inappropriate act with a 10-year-old last year. Now under arrest, William Gordon, facing charges of possession of child pornography and promoting a minor in an obscene performance. Lawmakers and small farmers gathered at the Capitol today. They're calling on the state and federal governments to do more for those whose businesses have been impacted by recent severe weather events. Prosecutors say the driver who is charged with killing NHL player Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matt as they bicycled on a rural road had a blood alcohol level of .087. That's above the .08 legal limit in Jersey. Virtual court hearing today. 43-year-old suspect Sean Higgins was said to have a history of road rage. Judge ordered him detained until trial. WTIC News Time, 3:31. Here's Jason Caterina with the forecast.
Well, the rest of our Friday, it'll be mostly sunny and very warm, the high of 86. Clear skies, mild but comfortable tonight with the low dropping down to 59. A light breeze out of the east overnight. A beautiful start to the weekend. Saturday, mostly sunny, quite warm, that high of 86 with a light breeze out of the northeast. Then Sunday, another just late summer day, plenty of sunshine, a nice day to be outdoors. Light breeze out of the southeast and the high of 82. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Partly sunny, 83 right now in Hartford. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Buying a home is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Before you tour a home, the real estate professional you're working with may ask you to sign a buyer's agreement, which describes the services you'll receive, each party's role and responsibilities, and how your agent will be compensated, all of which you'll want to discuss with them up front. So work with an agent who's a realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors with a duty to honestly represent you and put your interests above their own, because that's who we are.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, I'm USA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind-in-payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. You're going to hear about it.
Don't forget, on this Open Line Friday, it is the airing of grievances. So if you've got an issue that is bugging you this week, I don't care if it's in the news, in your personal life, or in somebody else's life, air it out today in the airing of grievance Friday at 860-522-WTIC. That's 860-522-9842. I'm going to go to Patrick in Middletown first before I get to Pianki. It's his first call, Pianki, so let's not go to him first. I want to give him an opportunity afterwards. Let's go to Patrick in Middletown. How you doing, Patrick?
You're goddamn right, I do.
Patrick?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how are you, sir?
I was doing a little bit of my comedy routine. I'm practicing up for open mic night.
I understand. It's a perfect night for it. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Hey, well, I'm not great, but anyway, I just want to apologize if I said anything in our last conversation that you were offended by. I didn't mean it because
I didn't.
Going through hell. As
I
you
know
know
you. I know you are. And I promised that I would give you a holler, but I had something else that I had to do. But I promise, don't worry, I haven't forgotten you. But your number's still. I have your number right in front of me in a minute because what I want to do is be able to get you assistance through actually connecting you with some people who I know I can get in touch with. So just be patient with me. I promise I'm going to give you a holler.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but that's the key word is patience. Like I was at the VA today, I had to do some medical stuff and some HUD-VAS stuff, and it's just not happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I faced worse before in my life, but anyway, I just want to say I appreciate you, man. Like,
thank you.
You're for real. You take the time to listen to people. Once I get my little Rodney Dangerfield skit together, I'm gonna do that over the radio, just like Frank gets to play his records. So, and let him know this is no lie. I do have a little gold. Back when I was a little more affluent, I have a little gold. I have Morgan silver dollars.
Okay.
I have some gold and silver jewelry. I got it all stashed away in my safety deposit box. So, but if you don't have the resources, you can't buy gold, Reese. Come on.
That's right. Absolutely, sir.
Right? So don't pass judgment on us for being poor.
I never, ever will, sir. I don't. I try to tell everybody else to stop doing that. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate you. You got it. Okay. Now, Pianki is in the Delta region, and Pianki and I have known each other for a little while. We don't really talk all that much, but he has been dying to come on. Pianki, part of your question that you've been leaving in the chat room about the 14th Amendment, right, which is really, really controversial because people turn this into a whole different other scope. You've got, and I'm just going to leave it this way. You believe that because of Kamala Harris's parents, that she doesn't have a constitutional right to run for president. I'm going to give you at least 30 to 40 seconds to explain where that's coming from and why you believe that to be true. Can you do that?
Reese, the 14th Amendment, which was adopted July the 9th, 1868, after 17 presidents had been elected. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to, get this, the jurisdiction thereof. In other words, they are not subject to the jurisdiction of their foreign national country or citizens of the United States. Kamala Harris' parents never did meet that qualification. And there was recently a case in Virginia with a doctor who had been here for 60 years, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
He went to renew his passport, and they revoked his citizenship based on that same premise, that it was given to him erroneously back when he was a child.
Now, again, only because we've seen this happen in the past. In fact, it was brought up during the debate just recently. Donald Trump and David Muir were going back and forth about Donald Trump presenting evidence that the election was rigged or that people who had voted were not supposed to. And David Muir kept making the argument that judges rejected his claims. Donald Trump pushed back by saying they never looked at it. They didn't even bother to look at their president. He said he didn't have cause, but they never viewed it. Do you believe, because I understand where you're coming from, you want to follow the letter of the law. If anyone were to bring this case to the Supreme Court or to even a local Supreme Court in every jurisdiction across the country that has her on the ballot, do you believe that we would face the same thing by those judges saying, I'm not even touching this? Like, because again, remember, your reputation is going to be on the line. If I even look at this precedent, I'm not, I would probably be ridiculed, if not somebody would work to have me removed from the bench.
And regardless, no matter if they are ridiculed. See, judges don't make laws.
No, they don't.
Judges listen to the arguments between two or more parties.
You mean supposed to. You mean supposed to.
Yeah, and actually, states don't have to listen to judges. And nothing, judges has no authority, no way of enforcement.
Well,
So
the
thing
judge
here
is going
the-
to remember, in order for, as far as a legal recourse, it's going to have to go in front of a judge. Now,
Well,
if you want the
it's up to
are you saying the legislature would have to look at it?
It's up to the state legislatures
Right.
to remove her from the ballot because she's illegal.
But you know that no legislation, regardless if it was run by Republicans or Democrats, would touch this with a 10-foot pole because.
Well, that's not true. There are
Really?
some that's looking at it.
Oh,
Yes,
no,
there
I
are.
know.
And
No,
see,
don't get me
here's the
wrong.
thing.
I know there's some outliers out there, Pianki.
Well, they're not outliers. Louisiana's a very great state. But see, here's the
No,
thing.
I'm meaning they're outliers. In other words, they're not. It's not a large
because
swath.
That's because the people don't demand it like they
That's
should.
true.
Some are, some don't. And see, here's the thing: the federal government gets its powers from the state.
Mhm.
Federal government has no powers that the states have
Correct.
to abide by unless they want to. People don't understand that. And
Oh no,
that's the way it is.
I think they understand that. I mean, it's sort of like it's like the argument of the insurrection in 2005. Like, you had to get a 2/3 vote for the president to take over hurricane relief in New Orleans, and during Hurricane Katrina.
Well, yeah, the governor had to invite them in. But see,
Exactly.
if a foreigner has problems in a country like her parents can't run to the U.S. embassy. They have to run to the embassy of Jamaica
Or
and
India.
because they're under the jurisdiction. The child takes on the status of the parent until the child is old enough to renounce their own citizenship. A parent can renounce his or her citizenship, but you cannot denounce the citizenship of your child.
Now, like I said, that is going to be a legal hurdle that a lot of people are going to have a problem even getting into the door. But you did inspire me because you've been talking about this since yesterday, since you joined the chat room. So you actually inspired my 5 o'clock focus. So I hope you'll stick around for that.
Let me say this, Reese.
Real quick.
Let me say this.
Real quick.
The Constitution is absolute. It does not deserve any interpretation. I ask you this question.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Do you interpret the Ten Commandments?
No. But no,
There you
again,
go.
listen, I'm not making the debate. You say that the Constitution is not up for interpretation. But if that's the case, we would get fair ruling in the Supreme Court. I mean, that's, it is based on interpretation. That's the reason why we fight for Supreme Court justice is, be it on the left or be it on the right.
Well, they Supreme Court judges, and nothing in the Constitution call them justices. They are just
Fair
mere
enough.
judges.
Thank you. Pianki, I tell you, trust me, it inspired me for today's 5 o'clock focus. You have no idea. I'm not dismissing it because I think
Take
this.
time out to study it.
I will.
That case in Virginia, because this was just last year. The doctor his citizenship was revoked for the very same reason, and there's probably been one or two others out there too.
Like I said,
He is not a citizen.
I'm
He's
going
an
to
alien.
make the effort to read it, but I wanted to give you an opportunity. I didn't want to dismiss it because you were on the chat room and I know you were dying to call in. But thank you, Pianki. I promise you.
Thank you very much.
You got it, boss man. That's Pianki, ladies and gentlemen. And listen, very, very smart guy. I've talked to him, like I said, back and forth for years in the podcasting space. So he's not a quack. I know some people just like, I don't know about all that. He's not quack. He's not a quack. I promise you. He's very thoughtful about things like this. And you should see my chat room. That's why you should go to reasonoradio.com and join us on Facebook so you can read some of the stuff that gets posted there. Bushwhacker says that if you want, he says, I'm Paul. Hi, Paul. He says, if you want a fair debate, use a moderator from Sky News Australia. Okay, so I like some of the people on Sky News Australia. I don't think I would want to use, because people would immediately poo-poo that it's, somebody from Australia asking Americans a question. They would immediately find the bias in that. But I think Donald Trump, first of all, you're never going to find someone who's right down the middle. I think that we become so partisan that anyone we suggest is down the middle, someone would find issue with. So I think Donald Trump at this point is right to say, look, we're not going to pick anyone. There's no reason to have a third debate, because then it would turn into an argument that Donald Trump says we should have it here, and then Kamala Harris will say, yeah, he wants to go into a safe space. But I would then push back and go, well, you got fair dibs over it, or you got exclusive dibs over at ABC News. I think we should do it on my terms now. But like I said, I don't know exactly whether or not that's going to change, or whether or not that's going to be. I don't know whether or not the pressure is going to be on Donald Trump to have another debate in October. I just don't see it. I don't think it's warranted anyway. I don't think it's worth it at this point. And if more news comes from this ABC News debate in the coming days, I think Donald Trump just sits back and lets her stew in that. Because if indeed this whistleblower is real, Kamala Harris will never do another interview ever. Ever. And she'd have to literally go in hiding. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm wishful thinking. I don't know. Maybe I'm wishful thinking. But stay tuned for the 5 o'clock focus on this subject as well. Also, coming up, the stupidest thing I read today, it involves Springfield, Ohio. We've also got some news on the Fannie Willis prosecution in, what the hell is that? Oh, Fulton County, Georgia. We have news on that as well. And the 5 o'clock focus is coming up. And I know I had something else, and forgive me if I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but stick around for it. Of course, your phone calls are coming up. Oh, that's right. I need to talk about, because tonight I'm going to go to see the new film, Am I Racist? The Matt Walsh documentary. Excuse me. Daily Wire's Matt Walsh. His new film, Am I Racist? I'm going to see that tonight, and I will give my review. I'll give a non-spoiler review on Sunday, on my Sunday show. I think that airs at 5 o'clock tomorrow, on Sunday. Sorry, not tomorrow, Sunday. And then when we're back on Monday, I will give my full review as well. We'll talk about that maybe at the top. We'll start maybe about 4 o'clock then. Oh, by the way, everybody says that they love my T-shirt that I'm wearing. To see the T-shirt that I'm wearing, you have to go to reasonoradio.com in order to look at it. I saw this at a Spencer's, and it's one of my favorite shirts. It's one of my favorite shirts. But I can't tell you what it is. You actually have to go and see it yourself. Paul says, at least they're not bought off from the get-go. Yeah, that's true. He's talking about this Sky News reporters. All right, with that, we'll take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views, your airing of grievances, and phone calls. And anything. You can talk about anything you want. It doesn't have to be anything that I'm particularly talking about, but if you want to add something, please do. Get on the phones, 860-522-WTIC. It's Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want
This is the most money you got from this station since you started working?
throw that mail piece in the trash.
What do you mean, like weekly?
Yeah, consistently.
Financial Group for assistance.
No, actually, it's funny because there was that one time I did.
Company. Our knowledge,
holy crap! I think I did like
and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families.
I did like 11 shows in 1 week.
Give us a call and I'll send you our.
I did like 5 here
with the
and
facts about your
4 on BEN.
All of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit.
Yeah, I was all over the place.
329-2121. 800.
So you still doing BN too?
Well, when they call me, they know now. They called me a couple of days ago asking me if I could do at 2 o'clock, and I was like, "I'm sorry, I can't."
And a regular heartbeat not caused
like
by a
there's no way I
problem.
can.
Over a 3-year study,
so I told them I can only fill in the morning because I've been filling in here.
Better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients
That's crazy.
experience a stroke.
I know, Bianchi. It's always a hot mic.
Patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Everybody's like, it's a hot mic. It's supposed to be.
Without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis.
Oh, so your people online can hear everything you're saying?
Yeah, anytime we talk about anything sensitive, I cut them off.
Oh.
injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or
But they
muscle
like the
weakness.
behind the scenes. It's
Medications
sort of
such as
like, you know,
aspirin
sort of
products,
get behind
NSAIDs,
see behind the
SSRIs,
curtain and stuff like that.
SNRIs, and
So
Yeah, it's dope.
risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
I got to congratulate Roseanne
September
today.
clearance
She did
sales event
something.
is going on right
She
now
surprised
at
me.
Batera Subaru Outlet in Hartford.
For my
Save
well,
like
it's
never
technically
before
a
on
late
hundreds of
birthday
new
gift, but it's a
Subarus
birthday
and
gift
get
nonetheless.
0% financing for up to 72 months on select Subarus.
From way back, what was it, last month, right?
Yeah, August, yeah.
Yeah, what did she get you?
Oh, I'll tell you on the
$99 a
air.
month.
It's actually
Okay.
pretty cool.
Even
All right.
over other area Subaru dealers and see why people from all over Connecticut buy their new Subaru from Batera Subaru
Oh,
Outlet.
that's
And
cool.
now save even more
Manhattan
with the September clearance sale, like a new 2024
Turned the
Forester,
Empire
only
State Building into
$259
red
a
with a
month, or
silhouette of
Outbacks,
Darth
just
Vader.
$259 a month.
For
Over
James Earl
350
Jones's
new
passing.
Subarus on sale. And remember,
Now that's
Batera
cool.
will pay top dollar for your pre-owned vehicle. It just makes sense to buy or lease your new Subaru from Batera Subaru Outlet in Hartford, exit 33 off I-91 at the corner of Weston and Jennings, and online at BateraAuto.com. Call 888-799-1150 for details.
Hey, it's Matt, your lead pro.
Got it.
Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by calling 844-300-LEAF to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate and to save up to 30%. Dial 844-300-LEAF. That's 844-300-LEAF.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080. Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
There's a reason why you have to join the chat room at ReeseOnTheRadio.com. And Bushwhacker, thank you so much for saying writing what you wrote in the chat room. He is on Rumble listening and watching the show, and he says this. He says, this is the easiest way to add my 2 cents while at work. And I say this all the time. If you can't call in and you want to chime in on the show is very interactive. Your comments are right here in front of me. So if you want to join in, if you have some commentary, you want to help me out a little bit on some information, join in. You become a part of the show by going to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. Please listening to us on Rumble. You get to also see it. You get to see the T-shirt that I'm wearing as well. And you get to hear us, Roland and I, behind the scenes as well when we talk about things. We don't reveal everything. I cut the mic off on some of them, but you get to hear a lot of stuff. My wife, if I could, I need to give her a round of applause. My wife did something today that I didn't expect her to do. And I love my wife, and she was the first person in my life that I learned to love the way that a woman and a person should be loved. And I was horrible at it in every other marriage. And even though, as you can see, I'm good friends with my ex-wife, Mary. She even calls the show, and we still talk. But I was a horrible husband, a horrible boyfriend. But my wife, Roseanne, taught me how to be a good husband. And she did the greatest thing for her. It wasn't like the greatest thing a woman's ever done. But for her, this was the greatest thing she could have done as a gift for me. So as a late birthday gift, my wife told me something that I never thought that I would hear. When we first met, she was absolutely independent. When we weren't even dating, we were at a Marshall's or something. She saw a pair of shoes that she liked, and I was picking up some stuff, helping a friend who was getting married. I was helping her purchase some stuff. She was kind of short on cash, and I was kind of helping them out for their wedding. But we're at Marshall's, and we're getting some stuff, and Roseanne puts a pair of shoes on the counter, and I say to the woman at the counter, "Oh, just put that on my tab." And Roseanne goes, "Excuse me, I'm an independent woman. I can pay for my own stuff." And my response to her was, "Oh, that's adorable. Ma'am, please put that on my tab." And she was completely appalled. "How dare you? I said I'm an independent woman." How dare you just dismiss me? I said, listen, this is the way I flirt. Just let me flirt. So, of course, she's always been this independent woman, and she told me when we got married she was going to keep her maiden name. She was going to keep it. She was never going to change it. Until my birthday, and we've been together for 3 years, and she just sent me a text saying to me, she has officially changed her name to my last name. I give her props. What a way to say I love you. To take my last name. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Is that a big deal to you, Mark? I mean, if taking your last name, that means something to people, doesn't it still? Mark? Christopher?
I'm sorry, Reese, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Does it still matter to people that your spouse takes your last name, that your wife takes your last name? Is that still a big deal?
If she wanted to hang on to her maiden name, I wouldn't have cared.
Really? It wouldn't have mattered?
Okay,
maybe I'm the old-fashioned guy.
She took my last name.
Then you have to. What does it matter to you then?
No, do whatever you want. I don't care.
Okay, all right. Okay, I thought it was an important thing.
Nah, I wouldn't have. If she wanted to keep her maiden name, I would have been totally cool with that.
Okay.
No problem at all.
Modern old 90s guy.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
And if you're heading into downtown Hartford right now, we had an accident in Cromwell between exit 21 and 22. Looks like they've cleared that now. So it looks like we got delays 20 to 21 on the northbound side of I-91. After that, you're moving well into downtown Hartford. If you're southbound 91, delays 33 down to 32 A and B. Westbound 84 is slowing, approaching the Boakley Bridge up to 47 Security Street. 84 eastbound, you got slow traffic from...
Yeah, my wife's maiden name is Hopkins.
291 through 84 okay, so the River 2 eastbound's moving well.
I said, get that Hopkins out of there. It's Matthew.
Hey, smart move by you.
17 to 18. Westbound 84 is tied up 26 up to 22 in Waterbury. 84 eastbound Danbury slowing 3 to 5. Again, 84 eastbound tight from 10 to 11 in Newtown. And we're seeing some slow traffic on 72 westbound as you approach the 84 interchange in New Britain, and delays are back into downtown New Britain behind that. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, the rest of our Friday, it'll be mostly sunny and very warm, the high of 86. Clear skies, mild but comfortable tonight with the low dropping down to 59. A light breeze out of the east overnight. A beautiful start to the weekend. Saturday, mostly sunny, quite warm, that high of 86 with a light breeze out of the northeast. Then Sunday, another gorgeous late summer day, plenty of sunshine, a nice day to be outdoors. Light breeze out of the southeast and the high of 82. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
4 o'clock, Hartford temperature 82 degrees. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. In Meriden, state police have now charged a man they say attacked a woman this week without provocation at the city's train station. Under arrest is 37-year-old Curtis Hemingway. Victim says Hemingway walked up to her from behind Wednesday night, grabbed her, choked her to unconsciousness. When she came to, the victim said she was assisted by an individual who drove her to her home. She then contacted police. They later scanned video surveillance and were able to spot Hemingway and place him under arrest. He's now facing a number of charges, including attempted murder. Small farmers and lawmakers gathered at the state capitol today to call for more assistance for those who've had a rough go of it in the last few years. Farmers have faced drought, flooding, and even a hailstorm that caused $400,000 damage for one. That has prompted Will Della Camara of Northford's Ciccarelli's Harrison Hill Farm to drive his tractor across the state and eventually Washington, D.C. to raise awareness. State House Republican leader Vin Candelora says Della Camara's insurance paid out $42,000, roughly the same amount local residents raised for him.
The local community came together and started a GoFundMe site, and I think the local community has raised almost $40,000 for the farm. It is a bit embarrassing that a federal insurance program is paying out the same amount of money that volunteer donors are paying out.
Candelora acknowledged the program is flawed and it needs to be fixed. After residents of Oxford and other towns were caught without flood insurance during the epic floods of last month, state officials are now calling on all homeowners to get insured. Gerard O'Sullivan is the Director of Consumer Affairs at the State Insurance Department.
And a lot of the people who were damaged in the storm, they never thought they needed to worry about flood insurance before. But as the recent events show us, it's always a possibility no matter where you live. If it rains somewhere, then there's a possibility for flood damage.
A quarter of flood losses occur outside FEMA designated flood zones. Standard homeowners insurance does not include coverage for flooding. O'Sullivan says flood insurance can be obtained separately through the National Flood Insurance Program or private insurers. President Biden calling out former President Trump for claims that Haitian immigrants are eating pets in Ohio.
There's no place in America. This has to stop. What he's doing. That's a stop.
Some schools in Springfield were evacuated today following threats. Biden spoke at an event celebrating black excellence. 33,000 Boeing workers in 3 states are off the job this Friday, having launched a strike earlier today. Here's transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve.
Boeing says it is dedicated to resetting its relations with employees and the union. The company says it is ready to get back to the table and try to find a deal. And for good reason, they risk losing up to $1 billion a week if this strike drags on.
And we're hearing from the astronauts that have been stranded aboard the International Space Station. CBS's Heather Bosch.
It's not an easy thing to do, but that's not why we do it. Maybe we do it because it's hard.
Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams' Starliner spacecraft left orbit without them. NASA determined there were too many risks associated with the Boeing-made spacecraft.
Things go off many times without a hitch because we're making it look easy by dedicated efforts, monumental efforts on the ground and in space here to make it look that way.
They'll hitch a ride home on a SpaceX craft in February.
Closing bell report sponsored by Bouvier Insurance. Dow up 297 points. NASDAQ up 114. S&P up 30 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, I'm Dr. John, a spine surgeon here at Middlesex Health Center for Spine Surgery. By the time most patients come to us, they've typically suffered for years from back pain, difficulty walking, or numbness. And while we're experts in minimally invasive, robotic-assisted spine surgeries, we always try to exhaust all non-surgical options first. We'll help you find the treatment that's right for you so you can get back to doing what you love faster. To learn more about why we're leaders in outpatient spine surgery, visit middlesexhealth.org/spine.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to Reese.
You got 4 lines too, but just have them tell them hold on.
You got it.
WTIC News Talk 1080.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. You're going to hear about it.
That's right. It's an airing of grievances Friday. And of course, it is open line. So whatever you want to talk about is absolutely fine. And air your grievance as well. The stupidest thing I've read today is John Legend lecturing people from a wealthy California mansion, telling people, I'm from Springfield, Ohio. Who cares? Are you going to send a video from your lush estate in Beverly Hills telling the rest of us, the little people, how offended you are? Don't disparage the Haitians. I don't hear you showing any love for the people in your hometown who are getting kicked out of their homes. Not one bit. I don't hear you. Obviously, no concern for those people. And that's exactly what I did, what I was talking about in my opening monologue yesterday. Standing on the backs of these people while they're patting themselves on their own back. Look, I care. Look at me. I care. Think about this, John Legend. While you're out there talking about how horrible it is for those Haitian immigrants who have come into the country, while they're being subsidized by the federal government and the taxpayers. By the way, the taxpayers are being kicked out of their own homes and forced to live on the streets or find out some other place to live. You haven't gone into your pocket and offered a dime. Well, there's no reason to do it for the Haitian migrants because they're already getting paid. But you haven't even offered anything up to the people who are being displaced, the people from your hometown, the true neighbors who you used to live amongst. You haven't said one thing to those people, have you? How dare you call us racist? How dare you? God. Back to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. How are we doing, Mark? Are the roads less racist today? No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing.
Can I say anything after that?
No, you can't.
I'm in trouble. I'll get yanked off the air. Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. If you are heading into downtown Hartford right now, 91 southbound, you're looking at delays from exit 35 down to 32A and B. And again, a little slowed down by exit 28. Northbound side 91, that's a little tight between exit 21 and 22 in Cromwell. And again, you'll see a bump up by 25-26 in Wethersfield. Westbound 84 slowing just after 56 Governor Street up to 47 Sigourney Street. 84 eastbound, you've got delays 44 up to 48 Capitol Avenue, 291 through 84. That looks good east of the river. Route 2 eastbound, a good ride, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound delays 22 up to the Aragoni Bridge. 9 northbound again slowing 31 up to 32 in Berlin. Look for slow traffic 72 westbound from just about the Route 9 interchange in New Britain up to exit 3 for the 84 East ramp. If you're traveling into Waterbury, 84 eastbound delays 17 to 18. Westbound 84 slowing 26 in Cheshire up to exit 22. If you are traveling 84 eastbound, delays 3 to 5 in Danbury. Again, 84 eastbound slowing 10 to 11 in Newtown. 95 southbound, you've got slow traffic in New Haven, 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
All right, it's been another gorgeous day, and as we make our way into the weekend, it is looking fantastic as well. So tonight, under clear skies, mild but comfortable, the low down to 59. Then a gorgeous start to a beautiful late summer weekend for our Saturday, mostly sunny, warm, that high of 86, a light breeze out of the northeast. Abundant sunshine again Sunday. Nice day to be outdoors. Just don't forget sunscreen. That sun's still.
Hey, just remind me at the end of the show that I got to do a promo for the weekend, okay?
All that bad. The high of 82. Monday, mostly sunny and warm to kick the new week. The high of 80.
Okay.
Very warm on Tuesday again with plenty of sunshine. That high right back to 85 degrees for us. And Wednesday looking good as well. Clouds with some intervals of sunshine, the high of 84. So looking really good over the next 4 or 5 days. Right now, Bristol 83, Waterbury at 79. It's 84 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Looking for the best ways to prepare for retirement?
We can do that now if you want.
Johnson Brunetti's Money Wisdom with Eric Hogarth. Tomorrow morning at 8:30, right here on WTIC.
Nah, let me do it after.
News Talk 1080.
Let me do it.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Nierenstein Horowitz and Associates knows it's easy to put off creating a living trust. Here's a simple way for you to take the first step. A free consultation to those who participate in our public seminars. Creating a living trust provides financial security for your family's future, and it eliminates any possible confusion. Attend one of our seminars, September 17th in Rocky Hill, September 18th
By the way,
in
did you
Orange,
get an opportunity to look at that music library? Did you like anything in it?
Preserve your estate.
Everything in there is trash.
What I know about bridge, I learned from my
When you
adopted
didn't use
mom.
anything, I was
She
saying to
said
myself,
sometimes you
he
just
hates
gotta
it.
hold on. This.
I gotta, it's like, man. And the stuff that's dope, we can't use because we can only stay in the category of digital music.
Oh.
So all the other stuff in the music library that's real good, we can't use it.
You
Goodness
can't
gracious, a
imagine
waste.
the reward. Visit Adopt US Kids
Facts.
to find out more. I learned patience from.
I'm gonna find something though. I'm gonna get everything straight for next week.
It was
okay.
Hey, you got this. Just breathe. Hey, pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about
Yeah, and Tim.
foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit Adopt.
Bull line.
.org to find out.
Oh, yeah.
This message is brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
We are back. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. Don't forget, go to reasoontheradio.com for the stupidest thing I read today. John Legend lectures the poor from his California mansion. Let's get to the phones. 860-522-WTIC. Jim's in Wellington. How are we doing, Jim?
Oh, you caught me off guard here.
That's okay.
Listen, no. If you knew me, you wouldn't say that. Trust me. Anyway, I have been married 4 different times. I've had 4 different wives.
Right.
And I've never been divorced.
That's not legal.
Of course, it's legal because you didn't ask the follow-up question.
You're
following the same guidelines that they did on ABC.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's right. I should have followed up. Did you marry the same woman?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I married the same woman, but here's the deal. Every 10 years, she changed into another woman.
Oh yeah. I hear that.
She'd tell you the same thing about me, and I got worse. I tell you, if she wasn't in my life, I would be a much sadder person. Trust me.
I hear that.
Trust me. But this thing about Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
The ABC fallout.
Yeah.
You have to forgive me. I didn't hear the beginning of your show. You might have talked about this already.
No, I pretty much aired the thing that I talked about before the debate, is that ABC News was going to not just cover for Kamala Harris, but they were going to salvage her because of what happened at CNN ruining Joe Biden's chances.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But let me ask you a question. Do you believe that I'm getting a sneaking suspicion that Trump certainly understood he was going into the Lions Den. I mean, with everything that's
according to reports, he had known that it was stacked by the time he heard the second question.
Yeah, but I have to believe that he knew it was stacked, period. And maybe in some crazy way, and I can't figure out the logic, that was okay with him.
Right. But you know what? You also have to think about this, Jim. He had said, if I'm correct, 2 weeks before the debate, when he was on the stump, he was already talking about the relationship from the front office and Kamala and Doug Emhoff, her husband.
Yes.
So he was already telling. He was sort of like He was always telegraphing that to everyone in the beginning. He said, "Look, he knew what the Lions Den he was walking into. I don't think he thought it would be that bad. He thought it would be bad, but that was blatant."
Here's my take on it. I got to flush it out a little bit more, but here's my initial reaction to that. I said many times, you said it many times. The left eats their own.
Yep.
When it suits their purpose, right?
Right.
And at the end of the day, I got to believe somebody in Trump's camp said, "Hey, look, there's large division in the Democratic Party concerning Kamala Harris."
Indeed.
And they're going to start eating their own about some of this. And when you see the news media that carries her water, questioning her ability, basically saying Trump lost, she won, Trump lost, but there's no bump, this, that, and the other thing. You got to understand. I think clearly they understand that she's in deep trouble.
I'll say this, Jim, before I let you go. What I truly believe is that even though they don't want Trump to win, they do understand that they would be conceding full power, the president of the United States being Kamala Harris. I don't think that there's a true Democrat, whether they're in the media or not, that is comfortable for that person being, Kamala Harris, that person being,
there you go.
as the de facto leader of the entire party. In no way.
There you go.
They don't.
Yeah,
I don't believe they want that.
You expressed it exactly the way I should have.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the time.
No problem, sir. Dan is in East Windsor. How we doing, Dan?
Hey, Reese. How you doing?
Pretty good, sir.
Hey, I just wanted to say that what Bianchi was talking to you about there.
Yeah, sure.
I looked that up with that doctor. What that deal was the State Department does not consider children born of foreign diplomats who are under diplomatic immunity to be United States citizens. Since Kamala's parents were not diplomats. She is a natural-born citizen by birthright. She was born in Oakland, California, so she has every right to run for the presidency.
Right, and that's, you know, what's it? Technically, you're right. And I think that's why I said I wanted to entertain exactly where he was coming from. It's a discussion that a lot of people I know are having, Bianchi in particular. I wanted him the opportunity. I didn't want him to think that I was afraid of the conversation, so I wanted him to express it. But I knew somebody would come in and refute.
Yeah, and I was just going to
go ahead.
Shoot. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, well.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah,
no problem. But I'm glad. Listen, I'm glad that you looked it up.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I remember I remember what I was going to say. That doctor technically didn't lose his citizenship because he never had it to begin with.
Gotcha.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay. All right.
And hey, also, I just want to. Do you have any idea when you're going to have Matt Corey on?
You know what? It's if he could get in touch with us, get in touch with Joey, we'd love to. In fact, I looked at his Facebook page today, and there was no way for me to leave him a message.
Yeah, I know. You said yesterday that he had reached out to you guys already.
I thought, I made a mistake. I misspoke. He didn't reach out to me. It was another candidate that reached out to me. But if they're listening, if anybody in this camp are listening, tell them to reach out to me.
Yeah, because I had messaged his campaign and asked them for a phone number, and there's somebody I know who actually works at the golf course that he owns, so she said she would get me a phone number.
Okay.
But, I messaged his campaign and asked them for a phone number, and they got back to me. They didn't give me a phone number, but what they did say is they said Matt should be on this week, and that was last week. So
okay.
I don't know what
All right.
happened,
Well, like I said, if there's anybody in this camp who knows him, get in touch with Roland here at the station. Get me his number, and we'll have him on as soon as possible. We'll have him on next week if he wants. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Dan. Matt, my good friend, is in Bristol. How we doing, sir?
Hello, Mr. Hopkins.
What was Matt's last name that you trying to get on?
Can you hear me?
Matt Court. Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Okay. How you doing, Mr. Hopkins?
I'm all right, sir.
Good. Sorry, I'm painting the ceiling while I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay.
But, so, yeah, I was going to go kind of left field at first. I really believe that this vice presidential debate is going to be huge.
You think so? It's getting no fanfare.
I know normally vice presidential debates don't carry much weight, but I think this one is going to be big.
Huh.
For two reasons. Yeah. One, J.D. Vance is so good at explaining what Trump flubbed up.
Yes.
So he can clarify a lot of what Trump said in a way people actually understand.
It's so true that you say that, because what I'm finding in him, when I hear J.D. Vance going on what would be hostile waters, CNN or MSNBC or the regular network stuff, he has an air of Vivek Ramaswamy's skill. He doesn't sound like Vivek, but you know what I mean? He works well on his feet. He's asked the question and he's concise. Like he can actually rip apart the question that he's not ready for. He can actually process what he's being asked and then dissect it right back to the point where he pushes the reporter back on their heels. And he's so well versed in it.
Yeah, I think he's even better than Vivek because he doesn't make people angry like he does.
I don't see people getting angry at Vivek, but I get your point. I get your point, because I think that when Vivek talks to the whoever's interviewing him, they almost get like exasperated. Like they almost feel they go further than asking questions. They almost feel challenged on the question. Yeah. Vivek gets that out of him. I noticed that. You're very right on that. Terry D, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, Pastor Will's my friend. I love being on there. Come on now. It's Friday. I know you got a grievance for me.
Here it is. Yep. So it's you again, my friend.
Of course.
So, I missed the last hour of your show on Tuesday.
Okay.
Because you started talking about my beloved Jets, and I hadn't watched the game yet.
Oh. So that's why you didn't watch it.
Yeah, way too late for me to watch Monday Night Football.
I understand.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I went to bed on time because I was out at the beginning of the third quarter because I knew they were losing. That was all.
Yeah, after watching the game, I said I should have just listened to Reese.
There you go. See, now you've learned. Now I'm airing my grievance. Thank you, buddy.
Good week,
you too, man. Let's go to Sue in Bristol. Hello, Sue.
Hi there. it's nice to see that Bristol is so well represented.
Bristol shows me love all the time online on ReeseOnTheRadio.com. They listen to the podcast of the show. Bristol is the top town in Connecticut that listens to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. So I love you guys in Bristol.
Well, I thank you for keeping me company as I drive home from work every day.
Now that
but
means
what I'd
everything.
like to say today is I finally got a chance to watch the debate. I didn't watch it real time, but I did watch it replayed. And what I got out of it was very interesting. I found that Kamala is definitely not my choice.
Okay.
Because she didn't answer questions, and she proved that all she can do is deflect. All Trump had to do was sit back and let her go so that we could see she has no clue what she's doing. All she knows how to do and prepare for is how to outsmart the other person.
That's a really, you know what? I listened to that debate again, and just to sort of codify what my beliefs were at the time, watching it live, and what I saw was, and it's almost an MSNBC approach to debating. It was like if Joy Reid was debating Donald Trump. Let me tell the audience what I think of Donald Trump. And I think ABC assisted her in doing that. And two very good examples in that debate was asking Trump about January 6th, which is not a debate between the two candidates, right? It's not talking about the economy, foreign policy. January 6th is isolated to Donald Trump. So you then ask Kamala Harris, hey, Donald Trump is responsible for an insurrection. We'd like to hear your view on that, Kamala Harris. So then she can pile on, right? And then Donald Trump, you don't believe that you lost the 2020 election. Kamala Harris, would you like to pile on about how Donald Trump lost the 2020 election? So those things are not even relevant to a debate. It's an opportunity for her to do what MSNBC does every night, bash Donald Trump. Are you there, Sue? Okay, I think I may have lost her. Well, okay, last but not least, let's go to Dave in Branford. How are we doing, Dave?
Well, here I am. Let me tell you, Reese, on the nomenclature. Well, first, you're an unapologetic conservative Republican. I greatly appreciate that.
Thank you.
So normal. I just love it. On your promo, it still says filling in today for Todd Feinberg. Nothing against you, but I'd like to think keep hope alive that Todd may be coming back to us. I kind of like that.
Yes.
A little bit on nomenclature, and I hope I don't sound like too much of a bigot. That birthday present you got from your wife,
yes,
who's changing her name.
Yes,
I really appreciate that. It is so often, because of my age, I read the obituaries a lot, and a lot of the minority families, you've got the wife and 5 siblings. Not a one of them who has the same last name as the dead guy, and it just doesn't feel like a family to me. That every one of the siblings is a half brother, half sister of, You know what? And
you're not being a bigot. Listen to me. There's something you just said in that, Dave. Let me explain this to you. And I think I'm so glad you brought it up because I was trying to find a way to bring that up in the show today. People use that term so easily, so quickly. It's almost knee-jerk, right? To ask for a degree of traditionalism is not bigotry. Those things are what we need culturally to survive, right? Marriage between, or creating a family where all the children are together in a cohesive unit are good things for our society, not old or outdated. They're not antiquated. We can't call it racist to want some traditionalism. It's who we are. It's a structure.
That's the conservative in you that I love. And this part is a little jingoistic. Yesterday's New York Post, they had like a dozen of those gang members in Aurora, Colorado, the ones that we were told were not taking over apartment houses. Right. But there they are.
Yeah.
What is it? We need Juan to call up and explain. All of these Venezuelans have like 4 names.
That was
Perez.
I thought they were all Disney actors. I thought they were all Disney actors.
If you got 4 names, you must be a crook. And I know that's a cultural thing, but it's a little bit of something that I'm not proud of. That if you got 4 names and come from South America, you're not a good person.
Listen to me.
I'm done for the Friday.
That's a great grievance. There's such a truth to that. Thank you, Dave. There's such a truth to that. Dave is probably too old to at least watch what, like the old High School Musicals and all those other, Disney shows. But if you ever see those kids when they're actors and the kids always have 3 to 4 names, it's like Tyler, Richard, Thomas, Baxby. It's like these Venezuelan gangs, when they give their names up in the news, these guys always have 4 or 5 names. I'm like, holy crap. But you know what? I will say this. That's consistent. It is consistent in culture for you to have that many because you're probably named after a grandfather or a great-grandfather. That's consistent. It's very consistent. Craig says, ABC was Lucy and Kamala Harris was the football, and Trump was Charlie Brown. That's a good point. And Vivek is a press secretary on steroids. That's what I want for him. I want him to be the press secretary for the Trump administration. That's what I want. Or at least I don't know. He's got to be out there, the press secretary and role. Anyway, let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, good afternoon. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, westbound side of 84 delays just after 56 Governor Street up to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound, you're tied up 44 Prospect Oakwood up to 48 Capitol Avenue. Southbound 91 delays 35 down to 32 A and B. Again, a little slow down by exit 28. Northbound 91, a little tight 21 to 22 in Cromwell after that. Moving well, Hartford up into Windsor. 291 through 84, okay. 2 westbound's a little tight as you emerge at 84 West. 9 northbound delays Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. 91 southbound, look for some slow traffic, 20 down to 17 in Meriden. 84 eastbound, Waterbury delays approaching 17 to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 is tied up 26 to 25A. And again, westbound 84 is slowing 23 into the Mixmaster. Now, 84 eastbound tight in Danbury, 3 to 5. Again, 84 eastbound, you've got delays 8 out to exit 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway delays from 62 to 60 in Hamden. Northbound Parkway, you've got slow traffic now from 58 up to 59 in New Haven, and 95 southbound, you're tight 46 to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
With vacations over and busy schedules back, don't forget your dental care. Columbia Implant Center in Manchester is open 7 days a week with late hours to fit your busy routine. Call 860-730-6030 or visit ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
WTIC. The rest of our Friday afternoon, just absolutely beautiful, mostly sunny and very warm, the high of 86. Now tonight under clear skies, mild but comfortable with the low down to 59. There'll be a light breeze out of the east overnight. A gorgeous start to the weekend on Saturday, mostly sunny skies, a light breeze out of the northeast. Quite warm for this time of year with the high up to 86. For Saturday night, clear to partly cloudy skies. Again, mild but comfortable with the low down to 60. Sunday, another beautiful late summer day with abundant sunshine. A great day to be outdoors. Just listen, wear that sunscreen at this point. It's still strong in September, the sun is, so you'll want it if you're going to be outside for a while. Sunday with the high of 82. Mostly sunny and warmer on Monday with the high up to 85. Quite warm on Tuesday as well. Plenty of sun, the high right back to 85. And Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sun, a high of 84. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
4:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. State police have arrested a man they say choked a woman to unconsciousness Wednesday night at the Meriden train station. Under arrest is 37-year-old Curtis Hemingway. Troopers say Meriden officers contacted them after the woman arrived at police headquarters to report the assault earlier in the evening. When the woman came to, an individual brought her home, after which she contacted police. They culled through video surveillance, were able to locate Hemingway. He's now in custody, facing attempted murder and other charges. Small farmers in Connecticut say they need help. Recent weather-related damage has cost them millions. They were at the state capitol today to make their case to state and federal governments to do more to help them save their businesses. More than 33,000 assembly workers on strike at Boeing factories in Washington State, Oregon, and California after union members overwhelmingly rejected a tentative contract that would have increased wages by 25% over 4 years. And back to the campaign trail for the candidates for president. President Trump spoke at his golf club in California today He's headed to Vegas, and then Vice President Harris is holding events in the battleground of Pennsylvania. Markets finished the week in positive territory. The Dow gained 297 points. NASDAQ was up 114, and the S&P was up 30 points. Yankees, Red Sox. Red Sox will try to get one tonight, bounce back after that walk-off loss to the Bombers last night at Fenway. 6:05 to pregame here on the radio. Mets start a big series down in Philly against the Phillies. In the Eastern League, the Yard Goats take on Akron, 7:05 on the Odyssey app and in the WNBA.
Did you see the streaming numbers for August?
In Phoenix. For these stories,
I did not.
They went up.
They went up, right?
Silva,
Huge.
WTIC.
I already knew that, though. That's why I already knew that.
And are you starting to wonder, isn't there any shoe out there that'll get rid of my foot pain? Maybe you don't need a better shoe. Maybe you need better support in your shoes. That's where the Good Feet store can help.
When I went to the doctor and got diagnosed with plantar fasciitis, he told me that I could only
Just wait till it becomes official.
There went
and you
of
I have to put all your podcasts up on the site and stuff.
I'm not going there yet.
I wanted to
That shit's gonna go crazy too.
today, but as soon as I got my
Cause they're only getting like
store, I have no foot
28, 29
Just-
downloads per hour type.
Oh, really?
Yes.
For your free fitting at
All right, we'll see.
goodfeet.com. Or just stop in. Walk-ins are welcome.
California Psychics.
1 minute. Yeah, Rob McGreevy's gonna call back. I told him you can hang out for 10 minutes or you could call back. So he says he's gonna call back.
Yeah, it's almost
I'm going to take a new path in my life.
At California Psychics,
I gotta get his
we
story
only
up.
connect our customers with the best. We reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us, so we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
You're in hot water, mister.
What'd I do?
I told you months ago our utility bills were getting higher because of that old outdated tank water heater.
Maybe it's time we finally switch to a Navien tankless.
Learn about Navient's high-efficiency tankless water heaters, endless hot water, all while helping you save on your energy costs.
Hey, look at this. Our utility bill is lower since we got the Navien tankless water heater.
Who's in hot water?
All right, here we go.
All the time.
Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. You're going to hear about it.
Yeah, the airing of grievances on none other than News Talk 1080 WTIC. And I really do love Fridays for that reason, but it's always bittersweet because it's the weekend and I can't talk to you guys on Saturday. And, I'm, raring to go on Saturday. But if you feel like it, call us up at 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. In the next break, we're going to be talking to Rob McGreevy of the Daily Caller News Foundation about a story that's been sort of resonating now, when I want to say a little more than a year. And this is, of course, about these businesses that are incorporating all of this DEI nonsense. Well, if you've noticed lately, quietly, these companies are starting to reject it. And Rob's got a story about that. In fact, about someone who's at the forefront of getting these companies to knock it off with DEI. And I've got some questions about why they're doing it, because I sort of have this belief that it doesn't make sense for me to appeal to a group of people who wouldn't shop at my establishment, no matter what I'm selling. It would be like, what's the name of, Roland, what's the name of the, is it big, not Big and Tall? What's the location for Big and Tall guys? I know it's somebody's going to tell me in the chat room, but I tried shopping there once. But gosh, why is it escaping me? They always put one next to a Nordstrom's, like a Nordstrom rack, but it's oh goodness gracious, why am I? The name escapes me because I've only been there a couple of times, but I could never fit anything in the store. But it's primarily for Big and Tall guys, right? I think it's called XL or I don't know. I think it's like XXL. It might be. Maybe that's the hip hop magazine. Anyway, when I went in once, I went to go find something for myself and I couldn't fit anything.
DXL?
DXL. That's the one. DXL. That's the place. So it would be like DXL being pressured by people in the, what's the word? Dwarf? Little people community? Okay, little people community to have clothing for those people. And them rearranging all of their stock, and none of them in the community ever go to the store. Never. I mean, the store is primarily made for big and tall people. That's what it's for. And you have this small group of little people who say, well, I think it's discriminatory that you don't have anything for, I don't know, short and skinny people. I don't know. Whatever the antithesis of that would be. It would be dumb. But these companies are forcing themselves to cater to an audience that doesn't shop there. When I see Target, I think soccer moms or just moms in general. Women in general love that. They love that store. God knows my wife does. But catering to certain groups of people, like when Target got in all of that crap about letting transgenders go into the girls' bathroom. You're a store that caters to women. Why you would let a biological men go into the woman's stall makes no sense to me. It's like it's completely alienating your base. It makes no sense, but hey, Sarah, we're here. So we talked to Rob McGreevy about that from the Daily Caller News Foundation. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hi, Reese. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Friday afternoon, Friday the 13th, take it slow on the roads. If you're southbound 91 Hartford, you got delays approaching 35 down to 32 A and B, and again down by exit 28, Hartford Weathersfield line. Northbound 91 slowing 21 up to 22. Again, after that, you get a good ride Rocky Hill up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tied up 56 Governor Street into the tunnel. 84 eastbound is slowing now from exit 44 down to 48 Capitol Avenue. 291, 384 moving well east of the river. 2 eastbound's okay, Glastonbury into Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound Waterbury, you've got delays from 17 up to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 tied up from the 691 interchange up to exit 25A in Waterbury. Again, slowing by exit 22 in Waterbury. 84 eastbound in Newtown, delays from exit 9 up to exit 11 on the eastbound side of 84. Southbound Parkway slows by 60. Northbound Parkway, some slow traffic between 58 and 59 as you move up toward the West Rock Tunnel. 95 southbound New Haven slowing 46 to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
As we head on into the evening hours, a beautiful evening and a great night tonight. Relatively mild but comfortable with the low down to 59 under the clear skies tonight. Beautiful late summer weekend and a gorgeous day to kick it off.
Are we doing digital diaries or are we still doing paper diaries? Do you know?
Lots of sun again on Sunday. Great day to be outdoors.
Digital diaries, what's that?
Oh, well, okay. Well, usually when we do the ratings, we do what's called diaries.
Mostly sunny and warm day. Monday.
I don't.
You don't know that one? Okay.
I have no clue.
Okay.
I don't even mess with the ratings. I look at them, but I don't.
Did you get them for this for this month or for this
79? It's 82 in Hartford.
This cycle yet?
Oh no, I didn't.
No, okay. It looks like they're out, or at least according to this. I got August 2024.
Or allergies.
Okay, you got last month. Okay.
Yeah.
Easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com.
Yeah, I used to have meetings with Janine about it. We haven't had any meetings in a very long time.
Oh man.
With Aer Lingus and Bradley International Airport, your vacation possibilities just got more exciting. Fly non-stop from Hartford to Dublin with great fares available now. And since Dublin is our European hub, make your trip 20 times more fun with connections to over 20 cities across Europe, including London, Paris, and Rome. From epic coastlines to city tram lines, you can explore it all. Visit airlingus.com to book your flights today.
Oh, a minute.
Leaf Filter Trusted Pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/gutter to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection.
You got Rob on.
And you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/gutter. That's leaffilter.com/gutter.
It is your girl, Cammie. And I want you to know that when I listen to the radio, okay, I listen to Reese on the radio.
We're back. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. And again, I say it all the time. I'm a huge fan of the Daily Caller News Foundation, and I'm so glad that they reached out to me when Tom was on vacation. I understand. I'm an also-ran. I get it. But they contacted me. But you know what? It's the best contact that I could have got as a second-place finisher. And I love it because now I kind of get to chat with them. I'm now friends with them on Twitter. I'm friends with them on Facebook. I feel like I've been accepted. Someone has finally given me an award. And I think I'm going to bring this guy on regularly, none other than Robert McGreevy, reporter at the Daily Caller News Foundation. How you doing, Robbie?
I'm good, Reese. And I just want to say I love Tom. I love talking to him, but you're a first ballot in my book. You're also ran.
No doubt. I love it. All right. I appreciate it. So you actually wrote an article about a story that I've been very vocal about. And that was this whole DEI and ESG going on in corporations all across the globe, in fact. And people getting these sort of credits, if you would. And I don't even understand the credit system, so you may need to explain it to me. But you did a feature on Robbie Starbuck, who I've seen on X, here and again. But he's been very, very, successful in going after these corporations and getting them to dismiss these DEI practices. Tell everybody a little bit about what your article sort of features and what Robbie Starbuck has been able to do.
Yeah, so Robbie Starbuck is a super interesting guy. He used to produce music videos for Snoop Dogg and other rap and hip hop artists, and super busy guy. I was surprised we were able to get him on the horn and talk about this. But for the past, I'd say 3, 4, 5 months or so, he's been using his big social media platform. He's got something like 700, 800,000 followers on Twitter to basically expose a number of companies, the vast majority of which have largely conservative consumer bases.
Yeah.
And he's been exposing them for these insanely woke, crazy, way beyond the pale diversity policies that are so much more than just we want to be inclusive. We're talking, they're not buying from suppliers unless the suppliers are explicitly gay and have a number of people that identify of certain sexualities. These companies, these are companies like Ford, Tractor Supply Company,
right,
Harley Davidson, Jack Daniels, super middle America, you would think conservative type companies,
right,
that are employing these insane woke, they're having in-house gay pride, gender diversity events, affording medical transition care, under their health care plan. If they don't provide health care for transitions, then this index, so the Human Rights Campaign has an index which they will give you points out of 100 points to see how compliant you are. And they were all seemingly explicitly trying to get points on this index and be ranked number one.
That's the part that I don't understand. And I need you to, if you can, help me here. And that's why we were trying to get Robbie on as well so we could talk about this. The point system for the Human Rights Campaign. And by the way, follow Robbie Starbuck as well as Rob McGreevy. Follow both of them on X if you can. But in Robbie's latest video about this subject, he actually shows video of one of these women who are screaming and hollering about the companies that are at this conference that she's speaking at, Walt Disney, other companies, Ford, all of these big, Fortune 500 companies who are attending her seminar while she's saying they must adhere to these DEI things. And you talk about this point system, the Human Rights Campaign's point system. This social credit score? What are the points used for? Do we get a Cuisinart? Does somebody get a Ninja? What do you win? Is there something to be had from these points? Usually the Marlboro bucks would at least get you a Honda scooter.
Yeah, no, that's the funny thing is there's really no tangible benefit for these companies outside of a PR sort of, oh, look, we're being good little boys and we're towing the line.
Yeah.
And, the thing is about every single one of these companies that Starbucks has now put the pressure on has folded, has said we are no longer going to report information to the HRC. We are not going to be using racial hiring quotas anymore. We're not going to be celebrating pride events. Many of these companies have done so before he even reached out. Just when they got word that he was starting to look into them, they preemptively said, all right, we got to stop this, because I think what's happening, and some of my reporting, I think, shows that what was happening was these, and Robbie Starbucks said as much to me as well, these HR departments and their PR departments internally are all kind of, these blue-haired liberals coming out of super lefty liberal arts programs in college, and they come in and they implement this stuff sort of in the wake of George Floyd, in the wake of the racial reckoning,
right,
and all this sort of 2020 era wokeness. And I think it's just a little outdated now. I think 4 years later, most of society is kind of realizing we've taken it too far. Consumers are now waking up to it. And so now I think these companies are seeing it's actually not in their best interest
right,
to push this divisive stuff. But at the time, it probably was, because that's where the culture was. Most people, even people who now would say we went a bit too far at the time, were like, yes, this is what we need to do.
But even
that is what I think was in it for them then, and I don't think it's any longer in their interest.
But none of it made any sense even when they were doing it, right? So at the time, the most it got was a bunch of attaboys by the usual suspects, right? It got them, I mean, it got them press, but it didn't get them revenue, right? Bud Light being Bud Light was the first, and that was another crazy thing that I thought was odd, because the Bud Light situation was sort of like the bell that rung, right? That was that was sort of like the moment when everyone realized this probably wasn't doing well. And it kept getting worse and worse. And the second bell that rung was when Target did the bathing suits, and they lost $10 billion in a week. Right. So we have that happen, and it took. And the crazy part is, it's like, what was that, a year and a half ago when both of those incidents took place? And what did?
Yeah, Bud Light's been a couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. Bud Light's on 2 years now. But with both of those incidents taking place, when you see Target, the place that people were making tribute videos to, right? Going to Target, people talking about going to Target in very, favorable ways, making comedy videos that were going viral about their wives going into Target. Like, that was really sort of a rite of passage when you're married, taking your wife to Target. So it was a really family-oriented, fun place to go. And then they went this way, and they lost $10 billion in a week. That should have been the one that was sort of like, hey, this might not be a good deal. But guess what? Tractor Supply, Harley Davidson. All of these. John Deere. These people turned around and said, hold my beer. And went the same route. And it made absolutely no sense to me.
No, it made no sense, and I think you pointed to Bud Light being kind of the like you said, the bellwether. People saying, "Oh my God, they lost market share. They still haven't recovered." Modelo is now the sort of number one casual light beer in America, and Bud Light has not clawed their market share back from them. And I think before, a lot of these companies, they didn't stop reporting to the HRC. They didn't stop their policies because there was no pressure. Mm-hmm. But the reason they started doing that was because they did it before Bud Light got exposed.
Gotcha.
So they saw nothing but positives. They said, we're going to appease these loud, insane liberals who, up until Robbie Starbuck, were really the only people, conservatives tend to mind their own business. Conservatives don't really take it upon themselves to kick up the storm. Like, they're busy building businesses and taking care of their families. So they weren't really concerned with pissing off conservatives. They were just concerned with pissing off liberals. But I think they made a mistake, and the HRC made a mistake when they said, well, we're going to include conservative companies who have entirely conservative consumer bases. And Tractor Supply Co., do you know anybody that's voted for Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton that shops at Tractor Supply Company? Because I don't.
No.
Right.
That, you know what I found? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you go.
I was going to say that, again, what I always didn't understand about the left, and it shows the difference between the left and the radical left. And this HRC company, Human Rights Campaign, is so radical left. But here's the thing I don't understand. If there's anything that leftists have told us for the longest, right, is that conservatives are the rich white folks, right? They're the ones with the most disposable income, right? And the people who don't have the disposable income are usually people who are Democrats or on the left. So what exactly did the HRC, which shows exactly how stupid these people are, and there's no other way to say it, is that they're stupid. So what did these people do? They went to all of these corporations and told them, I need you to appease the people with the least amount of disposable income. Forget the people who do, right? I need you to sell your product to people who have a hard time spending disposable income or extra money. People who hold on to every extra dollar they get like it's the last one they're going to see in a lifetime. Those are the people I need you to adhere to. And the corporation said, sure, we'll do it. I'm like, and then wondered why they lost market share. Bud Light, you're a business model that promotes pretty girls and beer drinking guys at a football game, and you said you're gonna start catering to the Zima crowd. And like, what is wrong?
Maybe they thought we cater to pretty girls and men who drink beer. Maybe we can make our spokesman someone who's both. Maybe that's what they tried to do. I don't know.
Maybe. Now, before you get out of here, I got to go for another one. You covered. I have to give you a round of applause. You made the coveted position of being one of Reese on the Radio's the stupidest thing I've read today. You got my text message. You wrote the article. You wrote the article about Raygun, the Australian breakdancer who is now ranked #1 in the world, having received 0 points at the Olympics. This is the best story ever talking about extreme leftism.
It's insanity, and it's funny to laugh about and objectively hilarious, but at the same time, it's somewhat scary to me because just a quick recap for people who aren't familiar. This woman breakdancing is the first time it was ever in the Olympics, and this woman was representing Australia and was so bad she got 0 points. Out of 18, 3 times in a row, she got 0 points.
Yeah.
And then the governing body this year voted her the #1 ranked female in the whole sport, despite the fact that she got 0 points 3 times in a row. And all these people defending her online saying, no, she's not bad. You just don't understand the sport. But the judges themselves gave her 0 points. And it scares me that we're at a point where, like, people are allowed to choose their own realities. And if you don't get it, you're the idiot. You're the person who's they come up with all these excuses. You hate women, you hate feminists, whatever it is. Like, you can't just say that's objectively bad anymore and have that be your opinion.
Well, according to your article, that the two of the breakdancers, if I have this correct, B-Girl Ami and B-Girl Rico, I think they spoke up and said that they thought that this was wrong? Or was it them or somebody else?
No. As far as I can tell, nobody's speaking up and saying it's wrong.
Okay.
But I was just commenting on both of those B-girls. I was watching their videos, and they're both, to me, objectively better at dancing.
Right, sure.
Rico is the #2 ranked girl.
Right.
And, I mean, she's more talented. She's more athletic. She's doing moves. She's doing things that I personally can't do with my body.
Lord knows.
This woman, Reagan, is doing absolutely nothing that, I encourage people to look her up for themselves if they haven't seen her, because she's doing things that, maybe like a 6th or 7th grader who's just discovering how to move their body could do. Like,
I'll tell you this.
Unimpressive.
My favorite thing is someone said that I think a woman on when I brought this up yesterday, a woman in the chat room said, she looks like I do when I fall down and I try to get myself back up at 60. That's what one woman said. Another person online said that I'm almost certain I saw my 2-year-old do that when he was throwing a tantrum when he had to go to bed early. There was a lot of great stuff that was coming out. Rachel Dratch on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon was probably the best mockery of her deal. But I got to ask you this. Is this, and I'm sure you saw the video, Isn't this exactly what Bill Burr said in his Saturday Night Live opening monologue about white women completely throwing their Gucci loafer over the line of oppression?
The fence of oppression, yes.
Yeah, it was Kathy. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy was the one who wrote that. Putting their Gucci loafer over to the line of oppression and getting first in line saying that I'm oppressed. Here is a 30-something-year-old white woman in a urban sport that like kids from the inner city and goes in and gets right. She literally walks in and takes the role of number one from every kid who had to struggle to get that sport into the Olympics. And no one is even coming forward to say that's wrong. It's incredible.
Absolutely. And, she's now playing the victim as well.
Saying,
like everyone who's saying she's bad is doing so because either they don't understand the sport, or some people are saying because they're bigots against women, which is laughable to me because most people that I've seen criticizing her saying the people that are better than her are other women.
Are other women, yes, clearly so. Rob McGreevy, Daily Caller News Foundation, thank you as well, man. I got to, listen, if we can work it out, I'll text you later. I'd like to get you in at least once a week, man, when you got an article going on. Can we do that?
I'd love to do it, Reese.
Thank you, sir. All right, folks, let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher, who cannot break dance.
Reese, Mr. 305 in town tonight at the Xfinity Theater, sold out. So
no doubt.
If you're on the north end of Hartford right now, you're going to see some slow traffic going into the Xfinity. Southbound 91 delays 35 down to 32A and B. Again, slowing down by exit 28. Northbound 91's a little slow, 21 to 22 in Cromwell. And the Route 9 interchange after that. Good ride Hartford up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tied up 56 Governor Street up to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound, you got delays from 44 up to 48 Capitol Avenue downtown. 291 eastbound's a little slow. I-91 over to the Bissell. 2 westbound is tight by 5D. If you're traveling into Middletown, 9 northbound a little slow at the Aragoni Bridge. Traveling 84 westbound in Cheshire, delays 27 to 26. A little slow again as you approach the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound, you got slow traffic 17 up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Westbound 84 looks good from there out into Danbury. 84 eastbound, you got delays 8 in Danbury out to exit 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway delays 62 down to 60. Northbound Parkway slowing, approaching 59 into the West Rock Tunnel. 95 southbound delays 48 to 44. And 91 southbound a little slow, 3 down in toward the 95 interchange in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
For the rest of our Friday afternoon, just absolutely beautiful, mostly sunny and very warm, the high of 86. Now tonight under clear skies, mild but comfortable with the low down to 59. There'll be a light breeze out of the east overnight. A gorgeous start to the weekend on Saturday, mostly sunny skies, a light breeze out of the northeast. Quite warm for this time of year with the high up to 86. For Saturday night, clear to partly cloudy skies. Again, mild but comfortable with the low down to 60. Sunday, another beautiful late summer day with abundant sunshine. A great day to be outdoors. Just listen, wear that sunscreen at this point. It's still strong in September, the sun is, so you'll want it if you're going to be outside for a while. Sunday with the high of 82. Mostly sunny and warmer on Monday with the high up to 85. Quite warm on Tuesday as well. Plenty of sun, the high right back to 85. And Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sun, a high of 84. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's 5 o'clock, Hartford temperature 83 degrees. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. A man who state police say choked a woman he didn't know at the Meriden train station this week is under arrest. The victim told police the suspect, 37-year-old Curtis Desmond Hemingway, came up from behind her just before 8:30 Wednesday night, threw her to the ground, and began choking her. The victim says she passed out, and when she came to, an individual offered assistance, drove her home, and then she contacted police. Meriden officers alerted troopers. They culled through surveillance footage before they located and detained Hemingway around 12:30 Thursday morning. He faces a number of charges, including attempted murder. He was arraigned in court in Meriden earlier today. Candidates for president were out on the trail today. Former President Trump at his California Golf Club for a speech and fundraiser, and he's headed to Vegas And Vice President Harris is spending this Friday in Battleground, Pennsylvania.
The Harris campaign has been trying to win over disillusioned Republicans nationwide. Today, the vice president is campaigning in the battleground state of Pennsylvania, in parts of the state that traditionally vote Republican. Harris's running mate, Governor Tim Walz, campaigning in battleground Michigan, alluded to the strategy behind making an appeal to the middle.
That's CBS's Natalie Brand. Naugatuck police have filed additional charges against a man in connection with an inappropriate act involving a child. Details from WTIC's Morgan Cunningham.
William Gordon was originally charged with intentional cruelty to persons and risk of injury to a child in connection with a complaint back on October 14th last year that he allegedly was involved in an inappropriate act with a 10-year-old child. Further investigation in the last year, coupled with search warrants carried out on Gordon's residence and phone, led probable cause for Naugatuck police to charge the 45-year-old Gordon with more offenses. He's now being charged with promoting a minor and obscene performance and possession of child pornography, in addition to the original 2 charges against him. Gordon turned himself in earlier this month and remains held on a $200,000 bond. Morgan Cunningham, WTIC 1080 News.
Small farmers from across our state gathered at the Capitol today to call on state and federal lawmakers for help in securing financial assistance to keep their businesses going. Many have suffered significant loss in recent years due to weather-related damage. Don Zen's family runs a farm in South Windsor. He says he's facing the very real prospect of possibly having to consider getting out of the business altogether.
You know, it's always been your goal to do a good job and then want your kids to take over. And now it kind of seems like a foolish thing to be putting your kids into the misery that we're facing right now. So I just hope that we can come up with some.
Still on hold, Tom, Ron, and Craig.
Keep the guys in business.
Will Della Camara with.
Oh, no, that changed.
Farm in Northford.
Okay.
I'll put in a new after the.
Okay, after
process
5 o'clock.
traffic.
Yep.
D.C. Della Camara himself sustained $400,000 in damage to his farm following a hailstorm last month. And saying many residents impacted by the flooding last month in Oxford and other towns were uncovered, the state insurance department is suggesting all homeowners invest in flood insurance. Gerard O'Sullivan is the department's director of consumer affairs.
Flood insurance isn't covered under most homeowners insurance policies, and that consumers should be aware that they would need a separate flood insurance policy, mostly sold through the National Flood Insurance Program, or there are also private flood insurance policies that can be purchased.
He says those who live outside designated flood zones can still suffer losses. A quarter of all U.S. flood occurs in the outside of FEMA flood zones. Markets finished the week in positive territory on Wall Street.
Investors sent the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 to their 5th consecutive winning sessions, with the Fed on tap next week to cut interest rates. Boeing stock dipped on its first strike in 16 years on a machinist union walkout in Washington state, but there was added enthusiasm for stocks thanks to the University of Michigan September Consumer Sentiment Index rising to its highest level since May. The Dow rallied higher by 297 points to 41,393. The Nasdaq gained 114 points to 17,684. The S&P gained 30 points to 5626. Jason Brooks, CBS News.
And for these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
This is the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Atlas Roofing Shingles with Scotchgard Protector. Protect your home and avoid those dark stains on your roof caused by algae. Available now from the Peter L. Brown Company. For a free roofing estimate, please visit peterlbrown.com.
There's a lot that goes into setting up a comprehensive estate plan. Visit Preserve.net for your complimentary worksheet and find out about Nierenstein, Horowitz & Associates free seminars. That's preserveyourestate.net. Don't let your family lose out by not preparing in advance.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. You're going to hear about it.
We are back. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC, airing of Grievance Friday, and I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Don't forget to check out the Reese on the Radio Rundown also on Sundays. I think we air at 5 o'clock today, Eastern Time. But if you miss it, you can go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com where you can hear it commercial free. We sort of air it right simultaneous with the live show. So I don't want anybody to get ahead of when it airs. So, I don't want to sort of cheat out the Odyssey people, who are airing it. Anyway, so we'll get to your phone calls as well in the next break. Even though we're doing an airing of grievances, I did have a 5 o'clock focus, and it was inspired by Bianchi, who was, talking about this American citizens thing. And it's also sort of inspired by this immigration problem. We're seeing more and more people who are coming into the country from other places, not illegals, but legal immigration into the country. We had the Pope today, Pope Francis, using a line a lot of people use in this election, this sort of lesser of two evils. And with that sentiment, here's my question. Do you believe that we should change the criteria for becoming a U.S. president based upon the immigration status? In essence, you have to be a natural-born American citizen. But with so much immigration happening in the country, should we loosen that to some degree? I'd like to know what you think of that. All right, number's 860-522-WTIC. I'll explain a little more when we get back from the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon. And this traffic report being brought to you by Joe the Plumber for fast, friendly, and reliable plumbing services. Visit calljoetheplumber.com. And if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound side of I-91, you've got delays from 35 down to 32 A and B. And again, slowed down by exit 28 on the Hartford Weather Shield line. Looks real good. Northbound 91 Cromwell up in the winter. Westbound 84 tied up 56 Governor Street to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound, you got delays about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue down into the tunnel. 291 through 84, no issues east of the river. 2 eastbound is moving well now. Glastonbury and East Hartford into Glastonbury. 2 westbound's a little tight approaching exit 5D in Glastonbury. 9 northbound, 9 southbound, a little tight as you approach the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. 84 eastbound in Waterbury, delay 17 to 18. Westbound 84 is running slow from the 691 interchange up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Eastbound 84, you've got delays in Newtown from 9 up to exit 11. Southbound Parkway delays 61 down to 60.
Wait, I'm answering. Let me answer. It puts people's lives at risk. And this president is going to continue to stand up and speak against it. Go ahead, Patsy.
Thank you, Corinne. One last try.
It's not funny. I know you want to make. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. It's not funny. Wait. No. It is not. Wait. I'm answering. Let me answer. Stop. Not everybody wants to hear the sound of your voice, sir. Give me a second.
Wow.
Mostly sunny day, a light breeze out of the northeast. Quite warm for this time of year, the high of 86. Lots of sunshine Sunday. Great day to be outdoors, the high of 82. Monday, still mostly sunny, less humid too, but warmer, the high up to 85. Tuesday, still warm, plenty of sun, the high of 85. And that great weather continues right into midweek. Wednesday, clouds with some interval of sun, the high of 84. Right now, Meriden 81, Mansfield 79, it's 82 in Hartford. And I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Don't just live with foot pain. Find the Good Feet store nearest you at goodfeet.com.
Looking for the best ways to prepare for retirement? Then be sure to tune in to Johnson Brunetti's Money Wisdom with Eric Hogarth tomorrow morning at 8:30 right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
When faced with a major health problem, you get a second opinion. Your health is important. The same applies to the health of your business, including your IT infrastructure. If your IT breaks, it can break your business. Get a second opinion, a network security assessment to determine the health of your IT infrastructure. Recognized as a top-ranked IT provider, Tab Computer Systems, the ASP of MSPs, can help you determine the true health of your company's technology and what you can do to keep it healthy. With over 40 years of IT service experience, Tab Computer Systems network engineers will objectively assess your IT infrastructure's risks and vulnerabilities. TAB's Eric Semmel will review the report with you and your monthly MSP fees to show you what you may or may not be getting from your current provider. Schedule your assessment today at tabinc.com or call 1-888-TAB-4-HELP. TAB, Technologies Advancing Business, a 100% employee-owned company.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a... Miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man. We're back. It's Reese on the Radio, NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. Again, Bianchi brought up something I thought was interesting. We have a lot of immigration, changes that are happening. There's a demographic change happening without a doubt. And more people who are coming into the country are becoming first-time citizens, as it were. And, you do have a lot of people talking about how they think the choices aren't good enough, right? Even though we have primaries with some 15, 16, 17 people at times, people always say, oh, we don't get the right person. Well, okay, fine. Maybe we should expand our choices. I'm not saying that, but there are people who do. My question is, it will become harder and harder to define an American citizen born and raised in the country. Do you believe that we should have a constitutional amendment that sort of loosens those terms, that someone can be president of the United States? Can we loosen them for an Arnold Schwarzenegger, so to speak, right? Not a natural-born citizen, but served as a governor, right? Clearly an American citizen now. Could we change the rule? I'm just asking. I'm not suggesting it should happen, but I thought it sort of piqued my interest what people were thinking. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. Let's go to Craig, who's in the car. How we doing, Craig? What's up, buddy?
Well, man, I didn't call about that topic.
But that's okay. You can call about whatever you want. It's open line.
I just think we have enough bad choices for president with natural-born citizens. We don't need more.
Indeed. What was the call for? What were you calling about?
Well, two things. I mean, sometimes your shows are like you're throwing fastballs high and tight all night. Sometimes it's batting practice, and I think tonight's batting practice.
Okay.
6 couple swings. All right. The happiest day of the last 5 years for me was when I could no longer shop at DXL because it didn't fit anymore.
Wow.
That was a great day.
I hear
that.
that.
Was a great day.
I didn't realize, it's so funny you said the DXL thing. Let me tell you, the DXL thing, I thought it was literally for just tall or big guys. So I figured I'm tall and skinny. I thought it would be for me, but everything in there, the waistlines were at least 2 sizes too big for me. I was like, oh, it's clearly not for me. Like I wouldn't be considered a big and tall guy.
No, you just have to be big.
Yeah,
you just have to.
Didn't even understand it.
I had a step ladder that I used to change light bulbs with, and it had a 300-pound weight limit. And every time I got on it, I thought, oh man, I hope they're being conservative.
Well, if that's the case, congratulations is afforded, my friend. That I am very happy for you. Thank you so much.
Getting to my grievances.
Yes.
Getting to my grievance. This is the grievance call. I'm sorry. What is your wife's first name?
Roseanne.
All right, Roseanne. So she did the full Roseanne Reese thing, right? She didn't do the female power grab. I'm going to hyphenate my name.
Yeah, she did. She hyphenated. She hyphenated. She hyphenated. She hyphenated. She did.
Oh, Oh, dude, I'm so disappointed.
I know. I didn't want to. I can't take the thunder away. The fact that I got her to go that, the independent 90s woman, to go that far that she would do that, I had to give her some leeway.
Oh, my God, I'm so disappointed. Oh.
Well, I'll tell her that everyone's congratulations was short-lived.
God bless you, brother. Congratulations.
Thank
It's a step forward.
There you go. Exactly. Maybe we'll go back to the Social Security place. Thank you. Joe is in New Hampshire. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, Reverend. I want to test your memory.
Yes, sir.
I think you have an excellent memory, better than most. Too bad you weren't going against Miss Harris the other night. You would have buried her. But here, I'm testing your memory. Do you remember me about 3 weeks ago when I called in and I said I was sending a very important message to Corey Lewandowski up here in New Hampshire?
I do remember that.
To pass on to President Trump.
Did it get there?
Well, what did President Trump just announce yesterday?
Oh, the removal of taxes on overtime pay? Or was it something else?
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. Overtime pay. I told you I was sending that message to Corey Lewandowski about 3 weeks ago, and it obviously got to President Trump. So there. I sent him another message today to Corey Lewandowski, and I suggested that Trump if elected, he'll back a permanent law that all veterans of the military in perpetuity, once they get out of the service, will get a $2,000 tax credit on their income taxes. How do you think of that?
I think that's actually considerate. In fact, you know what? I'm going to run that by my wife, again, a retired 100% disabled veteran. And, that was one of her biggest issues with Donald Trump because she thought that he wasn't really pro-military. Well, I shouldn't say that. I apologize. Wasn't pro-veteran. And
he did a lot with the VA.
Right.
This would be for all veterans. For it would give them incentive, not just for 1 year, but for the rest of their lives when they leave the military, a $2,000 tax credit off their income.
I think she'd like
and
that.
That should be getting to the president today or tomorrow, I hope.
You know what? If he actually announces that, I'm telling you, I might give you my personal number.
Well, I do plan on maybe in a week or two send Mr. Lewandowski another message since President Trump used that one, and I'm glad he did. I think that's going to help a lot. He can take the credit. He can take the credit for everything as long as he gets elected and it works.
Yeah.
Send a message. President Trump, get on your show for a 10, 15, 20-minute interview. Give you some time, maybe in the month of October.
You know what? I don't want to be. I don't want a fanboy, but if he did, I would ask you. He and I are both from Queens. I got some good questions for him.
He would love that.
Oh,
he
yeah,
loves
absolutely.
Common ground,
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a Queens guy because that's, it's so funny because I kind of feel like I understand Trump. People talk about he's like, oh, he's from Queens. And I'm like, I don't think you guys understand. He's Queens. That's in his blood. He's never gotten rid of that. And he's got a lot of those Queens mannerisms that are very indicative of that region, especially the Jamaica Queens area. But that's another story. Thank you, Joe.
He would have been on WTIC for an interview. Remember Jim Vicevich?
Yeah.
Started the talk show?
Sure.
Well, I had never called a talk show in my life. And back in 2015, when Trump came down the escalator, I called Mr. Vicevich the following morning. I said, he is going to win. And everybody laughed. Oh, he's just in it for publicity for his business. Well, I was right.
You know what?
So as time moved on. I told Mr. Vicevich I was going to try to get him to call into his show, but he never did. And Vicevich turned on me, told me the last time he let me on the show, you promised to get him on. Where is he? This is months later. I said, it's because you were backing Mark Rubio from Florida and never changed your mind, and Trump knows this. Unless you're behind Trump, he's not going to give you an interview. But I know you're behind Trump.
Oh, no,
I'm behind Trump.
I tell people all the time. In fact, one day I'll tell you guys a story about how I got behind him. It's weird how Trump became my candidate. It's actually pretty interesting. I told my wife the other day. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you very much. Have a good weekend.
My pleasure. You too. Let's get to my man, Commentary, who's always got a great grievance on Friday. What's going on, Commentary?
What up, Reese? Hey, listen, I'm taking off on the elderly again slightly, but I'm also go ahead and include middle-aged Caucasian males.
Okay.
As I mentioned last week on the show, my actual paid gig is a commercial refrigeration technician, so I find myself working in supermarkets amongst the general public a lot. There's always one guy, maybe two. When I got something tore down, apart, my tools are everywhere, I'm frustrated. There's always one guy that comes up with a variation that says, "Is it broken? Did you fix it? Did you break it? You getting her done?" Like, why is that appropriate to say? Are you trying to speaking a common ground with me, or how is that relevant? Well, let me call your show and go, "Are you doing the radio show, Reese? Are you getting them taxes done, IRS?"
People like small talk, Terry. People do that. It's, you know what it is? It's a nervous tick. People have this ability. They just need to say something. They need to engage. They're probably very lonely. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Some people just want to say something.
I shut them down. I go, "Oh man, what? That's a new one. Never heard that before." Some people they try to like talk down to you, and they'll say, "Oh, that looks like it sucks." And just to shut that down, and not because I'm any kind of way, I'm a very humble person, but I like to say, "That pays for my brand new house and my brand new truck," and that usually shuts them up. But these are the people, man, the nuisances. They're probably the same people that are whistling while they work and washing their armpits in the sink in the public restrooms. That's all I got for the weekend, brother.
God bless you.
Great one.
Terry, always a pleasure, sir. Always a pleasure. Hold on. I'm going to take Hector first, but I want my baseball fan, Lori, after. Hector's in Wethersfield. How we doing, Hector?
Reese, I haven't heard your show. I know that I used to talk to Todd. I don't know what happened. It's been a while, but on this situation about the presidential race, I don't know. I'm on the side. I don't know who am I going to vote for.
Really?
I'm a Democrat. I am. I'm not going to lie to you. And I used to vote for Mr. President Bush and all this, but what the situation going on, I'm undecided at this moment.
Well, talk to me a little bit about why you're undecided.
Yeah.
In fact, you know what, Hector? Here's what I'd like to do. If I could, I want to hold, because you and I are going to need a moment. I think I need to understand where you're coming from. I don't want to influence you. I want you to hear me out.
No. It's been a while since I haven't listened to the show.
I know. That's exactly why. Because I recognized, as soon as I saw the name, I said, "Whoop, this guy doesn't call in normally." I want to spend some time with you, because undecided voters are a mystery. You guys are unicorns in this election, and I want to spend some time with you. Do you mind?
Absolutely.
Okay. Put him on hold, Roland. We're going to keep Hector on the line, because Hector is obviously Latino, Hispanic, whatever it is that the term is today. I don't know. Latinx, I don't know. But he also is a Democrat. So this guy is perfect. Like, you understand that he is almost like finding the Holy Grail in radio. So we got to keep him on hold. You understand that we cannot let him go. In fact, Roland, make sure you find out what his telephone number is, get his email address, and if you have to, find his actual address. We have to hunt him down because he can never go anywhere. We have right now a unicorn on the radio. We can never let him go. In fact, we may bring him in weekly until the election. We'll get to him in a second. Lori is on the line. How are you doing, Lori?
Hey there, Reese. So for your Friday focus, I actually, I do not think we should loosen the
rules, the
standards,
guardrails at all.
No, because it's a slippery slope.
Mm-hmm.
We made things a little bit easier in school. Now our kids are not taught well.
Right.
And every other school system around the world is kicking our butt.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very, very slippery slope to loosen up standards.
Well,
And
that's the only reason why I bring it up.
100% against it.
The reason why I bring it up, Lori, and I don't know if you've seen this lately. What's his name? Haskin from Maryland, the senator from Maryland. Oh no, the congressman from Jamie Haskin. Maskin? I don't know his last name. He's escaping me right now. Jamie Haskin, I'm almost certain is his name. He had a conversation with some group talking about the Electoral College and how it's outdated and old and it needs to be. People are always talking about reworking the Constitution for their own, means, for their own new ideas. And they always say that how our laws are old and antiquated. The conversation about who can be president of the United States, based upon their legal status, is going to be the next question. Eventually,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's almost like that eventually becomes the next problem. I'm articulating that poorly, but you know what I mean. It's like it's always something. If it's not the Electoral College, it's the popular vote. If it's not the popular vote, it's the age of the voter. So always it's about those structures that always get sort of tested by leftists who are sick and tired of losing elections. They want to change the rules. So sooner or later, candidacies or the eligibility of a candidate is going to naturally become the next question.
Yeah, no, and I understand that, but again, it's a slippery slope. First, it's that, then it's something else, then it's something else. Like you said, they're always trying to change, and then we change all of these amendments, or we add amendments, or we change the Constitution and make it, to fit our needs, as opposed to how it was originally created, which was a masterwork.
Yeah.
And so if we are not left up, it's like, okay, so Pastor Will would love this conversation.
Yeah.
So the Bible puts up guardrails for behavior, and a lot of those guardrails are just to keep us from making really stupid decisions.
Right.
And so if we just follow a lot of what the Bible tells us to do, then we avoid a lot of heartache.
Right.
And we can make better choices.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And someone will push back on that to say that the standard of the bar is too high for them to be able to adhere to those rules. So what do they naturally do? They wish to lower them or to loosen them or to, to alleviate them in some way so they can kind of still live under God's rule, but a little bit of like loosening of the reins, if you will. Thank you, Lori. I just wanted to hear from anybody on that subject, but I think you make a great point. Let's get back to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading in toward Hartford right now, overall, we're doing fairly well out here. Nothing major to tell you, just delays on the southbound side of 91 from exit 35 down to 32 A and B. A little slowed down by exit 28. Another bump between 23 and 22 as you move Rocky Hill into the Route 9 interchange in Cromwell. Northbound 91 slowing as you approach 21 up to 22 on the Route 9 interchange in Cromwell. After that, good ride Hartford up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tied up just after 56 up to 47 Sigourney Street. 84 eastbound slowing a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 291 through 84 okay. 2 westbound's a little slow between 8 and 5D in Glastonbury. Both sides of 9 a little heavy at the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. 84 westbound look for delays from 26 in Cheshire into the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound slowing 17 to 18 in Waterbury. 84 eastbound in Newtown look for delays approaching 9 up to exit 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway delays 61 down to 60 in Hamden. 91 southbound you're slowing from 8 down in toward the 95 interchange in New Haven. And 95 southbound look for delays from the Q Bridge down to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Now, your ideas don't have to wait. Dell Technologies and Intel are pushing what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to now.
WTIC. Well, the rest of our Friday, mostly sunny and very warm, the high of 86. Tonight, clear skies, mild but comfortable with the low down to 59. Then Saturday, mostly sunny, beautiful start to the weekend, the high of 86, a light breeze out of the northeast. On another gorgeous late summer day for Sunday, a beautiful day to be outdoors, lots of sunshine, the high of 82. And Monday, mostly sunny and warmer to kick off the week, the high of 85. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
5:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva. In Meriden, state police are charging a man they say attacked a woman this week at the city's train station. Under arrest is 37-year-old Curtis Hemingway. The victim says Hemingway walked up from behind her, grabbed her, and then choked her to unconsciousness nearly. She says she came to was assisted by an individual who drove her home. That's when she contacted police. Meriden officers called state troopers who later spotted Hemingway and placed him under arrest. He's being charged with attempted murder. Workers at the Omni Hotel in New Haven hit the picket line today. The union representing the 125 or so workers say it's still in talks with the hotel, but are still far apart on any contract settlements. Local 217 says their workers are facing food, rent, and other increases, but wages have stayed stagnant. For the second time, a Naugatuck man faces additional charges after he was originally accused of an inappropriate act with a 10-year-old last year. Now, William Gordon faces charges of possession of child pornography and promoting a minor in an obscene performance. Pope Francis has strongly criticized both presidential candidates over what he calls anti-life policies on abortion and migration. Francis advises American Catholics to choose the lesser evil of the upcoming U.S. elections. He says that when deciding between a candidate who supports abortion rights and one planning to deport migrants, that both are against life. Lawmakers and small farmers gathered at the Capitol today. They're calling on the state and federal governments to do more for those whose businesses have been impacted by recent severe weather events. On Wall Street, the Dow gained 297 points today. The Nasdaq finished up 114, and the S&P was up 30. Red Sox and Yankees game 2 of a 4-game series. 6:05 is the pregame here on WTIC. The Mets take on the Phillies. In the Eastern League, it's the Yard Goats at Akron with a 7:05 first pitch on the Odyssey app. And in the WNBA, the Connecticut Sun, late one against the Mercury in Phoenix. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by.
I reached out to Matt Corey's people, and they said Joey already have something set up for next week. So
Joey's got him set up for what? I'm assuming for Shackman's show.
When the weather's hot.
I'm not sure.
Before you start up that heat pump, boiler, or furnace, contact Campbell to get on their service short list. If old reliable's too old and not reliable, talk to Campbell about a Campbell custom upgrade to your system. Connect with Campbell today at CampbellCooling.com. That's Campbell Cooling.
Hey.
Uses all major name brands, including American Standard and Mitsubishi heating and cooling equipment. Let our expert technicians heat your home this fall.
Do you have shoe boxes full of photos? Today only, Radio
Hold on a minute.
VIP access to the new Photo Legacy Box. Get your family's photos professionally scanned for as low as 7 cents, which is 76% less than what other brands charge. As the world's largest digitizer, you know you can trust Legacy Box to digitize your entire collection of 4x6 photos. Everything from the embarrassing haircut you had in the 90s to photos of your great-grandma's wedding. Visit legacybox.com/value to get 200 photos scanned starting at just $19.95. Oh, and don't forget, Legacy Box also digitizes over 15 other types of analog media, so you can get your favorite memories on VHS or Grandpa's film reels from the 40s digitized too. Take advantage of this exclusive offer on the new Photo Legacy Box today and preserve your past for as low.
All right, here we go.
Go to legacybox.com/value. That's legacybox.com/value.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we're back. It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC. I know he just said it, but I like saying it when he says it. Let's take Hector for a minute or two.
Hector gone.
Hector's gone? What happened?
You scared him off as soon as you start saying he bolted.
Oh, come on, Hector. You understand? You don't even understand the value of having somebody like you on the air. Undecided Hispanic voter? Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, the border, inflation, cats and dogs living with each other, clearly in Haitian apartments, but nonetheless living each other. You're the perfect person to talk to. I hope you call back. I really, really do. I hope you call back. Whatever. That's okay. I'm always chock full of things to talk about, and I did. Did you hear that Joe Biden was giving some speech about black excellence today? I gotta say it. And again, being a black man, I don't usually like to throw the whole race thing around. It's too easy. It's low-hanging fruit. Okay, and sometimes it's just embarrassing because it's sort of like the black comedian always doing the joke about, well, white people shop like this. I don't want to be that guy. All right, I don't want to go for the low-hanging fruit. But when I say the President of the United States celebrating black excellence, I keep asking myself, and what's the other stuff? Black mediocrity? Like, what's the other stuff? Can we just celebrate excellence? If you're focusing on black excellence, you're suggesting that it's not consistent. You're suggesting that black excellence is something we only find here and there. It's not everywhere. It's not a normal thing. People don't understand it, especially people in the black community. We need to celebrate black excellence because the other stuff sucks. What? Tell me. Excellence is just excellence. That's all. I don't care who it's coming from. I just need excellence. That's all. I don't care who it's coming from. Can we just celebrate excellence? Because it almost makes me ask, what exactly is black excellence? Does it come with Kool-Aid? I don't know. But you make me ask. What exactly is black excellence? Does it come with pomade? I don't know. So I have to start throwing other stereotypically black things into it. You make me make fun of it. It's not a good thing. It just isn't. Just excellence. And then we have everybody who is excellent on the stage, and we celebrate that. Okay? We don't have to itemize it by its color. It's just stupid. It also says, it's like, we need to get I just want the excellence to get its recognition. I just need to know that everybody can be excellent and celebrate that. That's all. If we could do that, I'd be fine. Okay? Can we get back to that? All right, I appreciate it. Silliness. Now it's time to get into one of the last of our evening looks at the traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. I made that comment about the racist roads, by the way, because Pete Buttigieg said that the roads are racist, and I'm still trying to find, Klan Boulevard. I haven't found it yet.
If you find it, let me know.
I know exactly. We would all go there and tour.
Eye on it.
Exactly.
The transportation secretary coming up with, we have no idea what he's talking about.
Knucklehead.
Oh, my goodness. Reese, thank you very much. If you're traveling 84 eastbound into Hartford, you got delays 44 Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel. East of the river, look for a little slow traffic, 58 out to 59 in the 384 interchange. Accident on the right shoulder there on the East Hartford-Manchester line. Westbound 84 is slowing, approaching the Bulky Bridge to 47 Secretary Street. 91 southbound delays 34 down to 32 A and B. If you are south of downtown, a little slow down by exit 23 in Rocky Hill. If you're traveling northbound 91, that looks good. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291, 384, okay east of the river. 2 eastbound moving well Glastonbury into Marlboro. Looks quiet in Waterbury. 84 eastbound. Quiet in Middletown. 84 eastbound, a little tight, moving up on exit 18 in Waterbury. Westbound 84 slowing, approaching 26 up to 25A in Waterbury. After that, a little slow, 23 to 22 on the westbound side of 84. If you're traveling 84 eastbound into the Newtown area, delays from exit 9 up to exit 11. Southbound Parkway delays 61 to 60. South 91 New Haven, slow 7 in toward the 95 interchange, and 95 southbound delays from the Q Bridge down to exit 44 in New Haven. And it looks like we have an accident now on the northbound side of Route 9, and it looks like it's up by exit 27. So look for delays back to exit 25 behind that. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
After a beautiful day, a nice night for us tonight. Clear, mild, but comfy with a low down to 59. Then a gorgeous late summer weekend. Mostly sunny Saturday, the high of 86. Lots of sun on Sunday, the high of 82. Keeping it mostly sunny, but less humid as we head into the new week on Monday with the high of 85. Still warm with plenty of sunshine Tuesday and a mix of clouds and sun Wednesday with the high of 84. So a great stretch of late summer weather coming up. It's going to stay warm for us. Warm today, too. Meriden 79, New London at 70 with a sea breeze, a bit cooler. Mansfield at 79. It's 81 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina. and the WTIC Weather Center.
Your vacation possibilities just got more exciting. Enjoy connections to over 20 cities across Europe when you fly non-stop to Dublin from Hartford with Aer Lingus. Great fares from Bradley International Airport, now available on airlingus.com.
Looking for the best ways to prepare for retirement? Then be sure to tune in to Johnson Brunetti's Money Wisdom with Eric Hogarth tomorrow morning at 8:30 right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
There's a lot that goes into setting up a comprehensive estate plan. Visit preserveyourestate.net for your complimentary worksheet and find out about Nierenstein, Horowitz & Associates free seminars. That's preserveyourestate.net. Don't let your family lose out by not preparing in advance.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special, both for you and your partner. At Northeast Men's Health, we're the leader in treating ED in the area. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no two cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices in the Northeast to serve you.
We all hear the radio ads about the IR. Oh, a minute. Be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com.
Call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back on this Friday, September the 13th, 2024. About to wrap it up. I miss our outro music that we can't play anymore. But we'll find something else. I know it sucks. It sort of has a feel. When it doesn't have it, you just can't use it. But well, it's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll get into the phone calls in a second. But 2 things I need to make sure that I make a note of in the event that we don't. So those of you who are listening, I know at the end of the show is coming up soon, but I want to get these out. 1, I want to correct the record. Craig called in earlier and asked whether or not Roseanne had hyphenated her last name to my last name. I stand corrected. When my wife just got back, she just explained to me that she did not hyphenate it. So applause to her. She did not hyphenate. She took your boy's name full. Absolutely. So I'm very proud of her, and it couldn't be a better birthday gift. Second, on Monday's show, a very important show, we are going to have Mark Fitch on from Connecticut Inside Investigators. Do not forget to go to insideinvestigators.org on Sunday. That morning, his big exclusive drops, an investigative report that he did exclusively related to the Eversource ratepayer hike. He has an extensive report that's coming out again on Sunday. So Connecticut Inside, it's called Connecticut Inside Investigations. You go to insideinvestigations.org so that you can become a subscriber and you can follow it. That'll be out, I think, according to Mark, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago, said that should be out the morning, Sunday morning, roughly about 6 a.m. So don't forget that, and he will be on the show the following day on Monday. I think we'll have him on roughly about 4 o'clock to talk about that article. So everybody, please read it and check him out as well. Also, the Reese on the Radio Rundown, Sundays, 5 p.m. Sunday, as well you can check out the show. And if you don't get to check it out live, just go to reesontheradio.com as you always do. That's right. The marketplace is also up if you're interested. We are, because somebody complained, we actually will bring the prices down on the T-shirts because we found a way that we can get the T-shirts done. So if you're interested in a T-shirt, give me until tomorrow. We'll actually show you what the new prices are going to be on the T-shirts. So we're taking care of you. I'm trying to be a good guy here. Anyway, with that, let's get to the phone. Steve is in Waterbury. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Reese, I'm doing well. Just out of curiosity, did you hyphenate your name to Roseanne's or?
Never going to happen. Never going to happen.
Good for you, my friend.
What do you got for me?
Well, I think everybody could agree that President Obama spoke very well, very articulate, and I always thought he'd make a good anchor man. But do you remember how Biden had mentioned something about the way he spoke?
Clean and articulate. Clean and articulate.
Right. And I mean, like he's the only one.
Yeah, exactly.
And then going back to, remember we was talking about the school systems and stuff?
Sure.
And he had mentioned how, kind of made it sound like white kids were privileged.
Yes, he said, what is it?
Exactly.
Black kids, poor kids are just as smart as white kids. That was the actual line. I mean, I guess I'm answering my own question on why he has a celebration of black excellence. The man's a bigot. I mean,
absolutely. I mean, and and so many people on the left don't see that. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, you know what, Steve, the crazy part about it, I get this all the time. It's like, Reese, like these guys are clearly doing like bigoted things, racist things, but you always laugh at it. I just go, why would I be upset at a moron? I mean, just like, what? A moron is a moron. You have to laugh at it. Listen, it doesn't affect me because Joe Biden thinks that poor kids are just as smart as white kids. I would be telling on myself if I was offended because in essence, I would think he was talking about me. I know he's not talking about me. Okay, they're like, I'm not going to implant myself into that bigotry. I was like, he thinks you're this, and I'm like, no, he doesn't, because he doesn't even know me. So
hey, one more thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. This is you. Go ahead.
Okay. Did you ever get a chance to get Lamont on to talk to you?
No. You know what? Don't think I've abandoned it. I'm waiting for my right move. In fact, I've got wheels turning in the back, and I promise you, we're going to get back to it.
I've still got one more thing from Fred Sanford.
What's that?
Remember how we referred to one more thing from Fred Sanford, Red Fox. Do you remember how we referred to his son?
Yes. Oh, what? Big dummy?
You big dummy?
Yeah, you big dummy. Exactly. Indeed. Thank you, Steve.
You may not want to play that clip. Thanks.
You got it. Jeff is in Marlboro. How you doing, Jeff?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Reese, how you doing, man?
I'm trying my best, sir.
I think you're trying all right. I want to tell you what black excellence is.
Please.
I'm not sure if it comes with a can of pomade, but black excellence is Reese on the radio, baby.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you so much. Perhaps old Biden will give me an award. I've only got a couple of months.
He might come up with something.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, sir. Did you have anything else?
No, that was it, man. You have a good night.
Thank you, man. You too, and have a great weekend. Mike's in Newington. How we doing, Mike? Mike, you there? I feel like he's there.
Yeah, he's just not saying anything.
Yeah, I know. He may have
got Tom in Canton.
Okay, let's go to Tom in Canton. How we doing, Tom?
Hey, I thought of an idea for a Trump sign. Have a Trump sign with dog and cat prints on it.
Oh, that's good. That one's good. You know what? They should actually, the people out there who make a dog and cat toys or whatever those things are, start making like, or even like the Trump, people like to dress their dogs, especially, with the winter months coming up. Yeah, right. Those Trump little cozy sweaters that the puppies wear.
A little red hairdo for your retriever.
Yes, it can come with the hood that's got Trump's hair swooped over to the left. That would actually be cool. I'm giving up ideas. I should totally be writing these down.
You and me both. Hey, have a good one. Thanks for letting me on the air.
Oh, man, my pleasure, Mike. Thank you so much. So, folks, and I want to thank you all for a wonderful week. This has been, it's always a pleasure. I don't get to say it enough. And when I do, some people say it was like, you say it enough. I can't say it enough. So I need to make sure that I make it clear. Folks, it's during my time here, and I know that I'm filling in, and I know it's been a while that I've been filling in here. I just want to let you know that, I know nothing is promised. I know that. I understand that every day is a gift, no matter where we are and no matter what we do. And I do need to express to you that you guys have given me the greatest gift a man could receive when it comes to something that he loves so dearly, and that is you lending me your ears and listening to the show. The kind words that you say to me when you send me an email or send me a text or you follow me on Facebook or any one of the social media platforms to show that you like what I do or you found something relatable that I do. So I just want to let you know that every time I come here and I crack that mic, it is to in some way engender myself in your good graces. And a lot of you have expressed to me that you have. And I know that I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but give me a shot. As I used to say to a lot of my enemies back in the day, get to know me. You'll find 1,000 other reasons to hate me, but get to know me nonetheless. I really, really do. I respect you, even those who don't agree with me. I respect you the most because just like Hector, who unfortunately did not stay on the line, I want to engage with everyone. I don't want to be in an echo chamber. I love talking to people who disagree with me and having that exchange with them because I think that life is an exchange of ideas. That's how we get from one place to another. And I've got the best partners in the world, from Janine to Joey to Matt to Tom to Todd to Roland, who has literally been my ace in all of this, making me sound good every day on the microphone, and all of you who call in. And I don't care how many of you call in every day, if it's the same people over and over again, and introducing this show to new people who call in. I appreciate every one of you. You make this show what it is, and you make me work harder to gain your respect on the show. So
from Weathersfield just in and said, "What's up with Nikki Haley? Does Trump want to take her back?"
I don't know. Nikki Haley. Why are people talking about Nikki Haley? That was a weird throw in. Anyway, I know I don't want Nikki Haley. I just want everybody to know that this is this is a thrill for me. This is, and I want to make sure that I want to do what I can to grow this network. And I think about my days of like when I used to listen to Scott Shannon back in the day. Scott Shannon did something that I thought was the most impressive thing a radio host could do, and that was to ask the audience to always sort of to be a part of making this station, this network, and if not this day part, number one, to help it grow. Because I promise you, we do it for you. We want to grow because we want to reach more people and we want to be able to serve more people in the great state of Connecticut. And I believe that I not only got my start here, but I think that Connecticut is my home. I really do. Some of my greatest relationships in my life happened right in Manchester. And you wouldn't believe it. Like that place really, really grew me. I mean, I grew up there in a way as an adult. So, please understand that I love you, I respect you, and you are always in my heart, and you never, ever will leave. So that's just something I want to share. Again, don't forget, go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's ReeseOnTheRadio.com. You can like us on Facebook. We have 2 different channels on Facebook, but you can go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com to find out where we are. You can watch the show on Rumble. Always send a comment. Always send an email. Let us know what you're thinking. And we'll be there. And by the way, this weekend, for those of you who won a T-shirt on the Kamala Harris convention speech, your mail-outs go out tomorrow. I have the T-shirts. They're going out tomorrow. We had to do a test print, and that took a little bit of a while. But now we got the shirts, and I wore one yesterday. So those are going out as well. So you can see those in the next couple of days. And when you do, if you can be so kind take a picture of you wearing your shirt and send it to Reese at ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's Reese at ReeseOnTheRadio.com. We'd be happy to post them on the website as well. And don't forget the marketplace is open. I'm going to change some of the pictures. I'm not happy with them as well. So it's
yeah, hurry up with my shirt, fool.
I know I'm going to. I promise you.
I'm wear that. I'm trying to wear that the next tournament.
Okay, no problem. Now people are going to ask you about it. It's like, who's that? And of course, that's more promotion. And I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sort of stalling for time. Oh, yes. Again, ReeseOnTheRadio.com. Don't forget, check out the article by Mark Fitch. As I mentioned earlier, his article comes out on Sunday. The Eversource deal is going to be there. And the Sunday show, which I think I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but I'm also going to be giving my review. Oh, that's right. You guys have homework. How did I forget that? You all have homework. Roland, you have to go too. Please tell me you'll go. Do you go to the movies anymore? Please tell me you go to the movies.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay. See if you feel like it. Go on a Sunday when it's like slow. Go to see Am I Racist, the Matt Walsh film. Trust me, it's supposed to be funny. So I want to get as many people as I can to watch it so we can talk about it on Monday. I really will. I want to get people's reaction to this film. I'm not getting paid to promote it. I just think that this particular documentary is timely, and Matt Walsh does a really good job. If you watched his documentary, What Is a Woman, you will get exactly why this documentary is going to be so much fun to watch. So if you're interested, please check it out, but I will talk about it on Monday, and I'll, of course, those of you who do your homework will call in and tell me what you thought of the film, because I'm going to watch it. Like, I think we're at a 7:30 showing tonight, so we're going to go there, and I'll be in there. So maybe I'll post some things about the movie tonight. So you got to go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com, and you got to go to Facebook to find those things out as well. So, as I always say, radio is free. So we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. By the way, there's a Plan Your Work and Work Your Plan t-shirt coming as well. I am Reese on the Radio. You have a good weekend, a pleasant Saturday and Sunday. We'll see you back here on Monday. He is Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Mark, have a wonderful weekend. No breakdancing.
Okay, I promise. Have a great weekend, Reese, and everyone. If you're heading into Hartford right now, westbound 84, you're looking at delays approaching the Bulkley Bridge into the downtown tunnel. If you're traveling eastbound,
all right, I'll record the promo. I'll send it to you through the chat room, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right, I'll send it real quick.
Ride down into Cromwell, North.
See you on Monday.
Cromwell up into Winter.
See you on Monday. Normally,
yeah.
Eastbound moving.
They want us to do it directly?
Quiet Middletown.
No. You can.
Okay.
I just because everybody does. Todd did his live with me.
Okay.
Tom sent his to me. So.
Okay. I'll send it.
Send it.
I'll literally send it like in less than 5 minutes.
All right, cool.
All right, thanks, boss.
Behind that.
Yes, sir.
On the eastbound side of 84, you're going to see slow traffic from 9 to exit 11 in Newton.
Okay. All right, everybody. Wonderful weekend. I really appreciate you. Tournament bid wish. No. He's definitely not doing that. No, he's got a golf tournament. CJ's Pizza. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Michael A. Much appreciated. You guys all be good. I love every one of you. And I know that I can, you know what I said. Poor kids are just, thank you, Johnny. Much love to you as well. I don't mean to make you cry, but I really do appreciate all of you. You guys make this worthwhile. Paycheck included, but you guys make this worthwhile. I love you all. Mwah. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday.